Hey everybody, 7 o'clock Sunday evening, time for some Sunday Night Live chat. I'm Chad from Nobody Else's Auto. We're going to have a great time tonight. It looks like we've already got a bunch of people on YouTube waiting for us. Bud got here early to get a good seat. Bill Wagaman's here. Pete's on with us. Jim. Alan from Arizona. Kevin L. Lots of familiar faces already back on with YouTube. Let's see if we can get Facebook to connect here. As always, we are live on two formats, both Facebook and YouTube. So as you see me glancing back and forth, that's what I'm watching. Lee from New York's here. Rusty James made it. Norma's on. So Norma's on with us for a little bit tonight, and obviously she did get her package. That's what I was going to tell all you guys. I did get that sent, and we did the license plates. I threw a coaster in for her. So glad Norma got on for a while tonight to thank everybody that chipped in for her package. So hope you're doing well, Norma. Hope everything is healing, or if you had surgery yet, hopefully everything is on track and progressing the way it should be. Frank from Rochester. And let's see. Looks like we are connecting on Facebook as well. So hopefully that's ticking along. Rick from North Carolina is on with us on Facebook. So got something going on Facebook at least. So hopefully it will cooperate. Last week it just crashed on us right in the middle of the chat. We had to restart it. Dad's on with us. Randy's on from Ohio. David W. Oh, yes, because, and I don't know if you guys remember or not, in the last viewer box from one of our Canadian friends, they specifically sent a Canadian plate to forward on to Norma. So not only did Norma get the plates that we sent her, I had the plate from the viewer box that was earmarked for her as well. And then, of course, thanks to you guys, we threw a coaster in for her as well. So glad that brightened your day up, especially when you're fighting the health issues, Norma. So hopefully everything's is moving along the way you want. Alex on Facebook. So is Scott. Kenny's here. Billy Bowman, Eric Roseberry, Jeff Taylor, Pure Pontiac Garage is back. Glad to see all those names popping back up, and a few ones that have only been with us a few times, but glad you're coming back. So I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. I hope everybody got through the week, and I'm sure everybody's a few pounds heavier, but hopefully that'll get worked back off. So Kevin says, hit the like button. Appreciate that. Hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well, so you can hang out with us on a regular basis. But my Thanksgiving was fine. I hope all of yours was as well. We didn't have good Thanksgiving until later in the day, so that worked out well. I still got some stuff done, and I didn't lose the whole day at least. So, and I still got to eat way too much. So it's kind of a win-win. Plus, we got to go shoot. We went and did some shooting late afternoon on Thanksgiving, so that was always fun too. I went out to my sister's, and her husband. He got his pistols out. We went and did some shooting out there too. So that was always fun. Okay, Norma did have surgery. I think she had a torn ACL or something, but they're still fighting it. So hopefully everything keeps healing and you get some energy back soon. Tweely D's here. Randy said he's back to salads and water now. Gotta paying the price. So Mark's on with us. But anyway, what else is going on or what else is coming up? As Gary's here with us. Speaking of shipping, I've got everything shipped. Everything shipped Friday. I didn't ship earlier in the week because of, if you saw the other video, you'll know why. We'll get into that in a minute. So I shipped everything Friday except Mark. I got your check yesterday, so you're in the raffle, and your stuff will go out here first of the week, or actually Wednesday. I'll ship Wednesday again. So everybody that paid this week, it's on the way, but it didn't go out till Friday. Obviously, Thursday was Thanksgiving, and if you caught the video Friday night, Gary's getting thirsty. Well, we are 4 minutes in, Gary. I guess it's about time. There we go. Reno's here with us. If you caught the Friday night video, you saw I made a trip up north on Wednesday to Pioneer Village, one of the greatest places ever. Love going to Pioneer Village. If you haven't been to Pioneer Village, be at Pioneer Village. Go to Pioneer Village. Experience Pioneer Village. It is a pretty amazing place. I do have some more videos coming from there. that we shot while we were there, I've already got a Pioneer Village playlist on the channel of videos I've done there in the past. So Jeff digs the signs. Yeah, I actually didn't plan on buying 2. I just ended up with 2. Those were on Big Iron, which is an online auction site. And if there's a bid within the last 2 minutes, it resets another 2 minutes and just does that until nothing happens for 2 minutes. There were 5 signs total, and they all ended in the same window. They were all listed. They weren't back to back, but they were within 10 items. There'd be like 2 signs and then come something else, then another sign, then a couple other things. So they were all within 10 items. They all ended within the same window. So when everybody that was, soft close auctions, that's right, Pete. So everybody that's bidding on these signs, you don't know what's going on. So I'm just bidding and bidding and bidding. And when the smoke cleared, I had 2 of them. Now, fortunately, if you saw them up close or paid attention, they are slightly different. They are the same size. They're the same layout. One of them is older than the other. One of them is the first generation of signs. They opened that museum in 1953. The older sign that I got says items up to 1950. So that would have been the first generation of sign from the 50s. The next sign says items up through 1960. So that would have been the next generation of sign that they put out probably in the mid 60s. And so I ended up with 1 of each. There were 5 of them. I think there were like 3 of the 60s ones and 2 of the early ones, or vice versa. I don't remember. But I ended up with 2 of them just out of dumb luck, or I don't know if you can even call it luck because I didn't pay for 2 of them. But I ended up with 2 of them. And that's how, because it was the soft close auction. And I was just bidding on stuff, not really knowing what was or wasn't going on because they're resetting so fast and you're just kind of trying to fumble your way through it. So Brian Dispatch is here. His treatments are keeping him tired early, so he's going to hang out as long as he can. And that's fine, Brian. We know that you're fighting that, and you definitely need your rest. So as long as you can stick it out, and be sure to catch the rest tomorrow. But anyway, that's so we ran up there on Wednesday to get the signs. You're supposed to get that stuff a lot sooner than that, but I got a hold of a guy up there who was on the board who was helping with load out, and he was really great to work with. And I actually got to spend some time with him. His name was Larry. He was a great guy. And if you've been to Pioneer Village in the last 10 years or seen any videos on it, you will know that things have been deteriorating badly. Tom's on with us. Our coaster guy, Tom Bohr Signs and Design, TV Signs and Designs, the guy that made all these coasters that a lot of you guys have been shipping out. So Tom's on with us right now, the guy that makes these. That if you haven't got yours, I think I've got like 3 left at this point. So Tom's on with us right now, the guy that makes this stuff for us. Makes this little hanging thing back here, little lanyard piece that does a lot of cool stuff like that for me. So, but anyway, glad to see Tom on with us for a while tonight. But after talking to Larry and seeing some things that are going on in the last 12 to 18 months, there have been a lot of changes at Pioneer Village, all for the good. Obviously, this online auction was to sell off surplus inventory, stuff that wasn't in the museum, wasn't going to be in the museum, and never, didn't even really have a place for it in the museum. So they sold a lot of that off to generate capital to help fix things up, and that's what they're doing. So we actually did a couple of things there. Larry actually allowed us, Addie and I went up there to do videos in the surplus buildings. Now, they sold a lot of this stuff on the last auction, but there is another online auction coming up probably sometime next year. So we got video. We did 2 videos. There's like 10 or 12 buildings. Now, a lot of them, they're not full anymore because they sold a lot of stuff off. But we did walk into most of them. Some of them, there really wasn't much left in, but there is some cool stuff. I stitched those buildings together into 2 videos because they were about 15 minutes a piece, even just stitching the chunks together. So those videos are going to be coming out. Plus, we did some videos at the museum, including a video where we just walked around and showed you some of the stuff that's happening. Their carousel is finally being restored. Their carousel was about to fall apart. It's being restored. Several buildings have new roofs on them. The sidewalk around the circle had, And I'm not talking like little bumps in it. I'm talking about like 4-inch, separations between chunks of concrete. So, I mean, it was bad. And you couldn't, it wouldn't stub your toe. It was like catch your whole foot and throw you down. That's been repaired. So that's been exciting, to see that happening. Alex, is any updates on the museum I was working with in Maryland? No, I have not heard from her in a couple weeks. I actually need to email her. She had everything put together, and I sent her the price list of everything she wanted, and they were submitting it to the foundation in charge of the museum. And that was a couple weeks ago, and I haven't heard anything back, Alex. So I do need to email her and see what's going on with that. 77 79 two-door Caprice interior. I've only got one car, and the interior is really rough in it. So nothing that's good soft trim. Seat frames and stuff may be okay, but soft trim, nothing there. So Big Job's on with us tonight. Big Job made it. But anyway, all that stuff is coming up for on the videos from the Pioneer Village. I got about 5 or 6. It was a one-day trip up and back, so we didn't have a lot of time. I shot until my battery was dead, literally. We shot the last video, stopped by the gift shop, picked up a couple things, and by the time we left the gift shop, my phone had shut off. It was so dead. So we got back in the truck, and I plugged it in and figured, well, I'll turn it back on because I had some voicemail stuff I need to do. We had to plug it in. It was plugged in for like 20 minutes before it would even turn back on. Usually once you plug your phone in and it recognizes it's got a power source, it'll turn back on. It was so dead, it wouldn't even turn on for like 20 minutes. So I pretty much shot everything I could possibly shoot on the battery that I had. And by then it was time, we needed to get headed home anyway, because it was after dark before we got back anyhow. But it was fun, and I always enjoy going up there. It's an amazing, amazing place and an amazing collection. Over 300 cars and trucks. A lot of in fact, here's something else interesting that I have never seen before, and most people don't even get to see. If you've seen any of my videos or any of the other videos on Pioneer Village, and you see there's an upstairs on a lot of car buildings, we found out how they got them up there. We did a video on it, actually. They didn't jump them, but they had to get them up there, and they had to do it very carefully because you didn't have a lot of room to get them up there and maneuver them in place. So we've actually got a video on how they did that. It's kind of interesting. I saw the apparatus of how they got the cars up there. So that video will be coming up as well. So anyway, but always have a great time up there. And like I said, super excited to see things happening. Like I said, my parents took me there as a kid. We've taken Addie there. We took her there when she was probably 8 or 9 years old for the first time. She's been there multiple times. It's an amazing collection. Some of the videos that I did, and I want to do more of these type of videos. But like I said, I didn't know I was going to get to do video in the surplus buildings. So I was super excited about that because I didn't know they were going to allow me to do that. And Larry's a super great guy. Hey, show everybody what we're getting ready to sell. Get after it. Do it. So he opened them all up, let us walk through them. And there again, some of the videos some of the buildings there wasn't a lot left, and some there was a lot of cool stuff, and some there had so much stuff in them I didn't even know what some of the stuff was. But we walked around in it anyway and shot some video of it. But when we got to the main museum, and I want to go back and spend another day or so there doing some more of this. There's a book called Sister Clara's Letters, and it's amazing. This is the book. It is not easy to find. They made one run of them. It was published in 1979, and they did not sell very well, and they are hard to find. There's not many of them out there. I just looked earlier today. There's none on eBay. There's one on Amazon, and that's it. Nate went up this summer, and he said his 7-year-old loved it. So Nate knows what I'm talking about, how cool it is. This book entitled Sister Clara's Letter. Now, Harold Warp put the museum together, but he was running his plastics company in Chicago while they were building it. His sister, Clara, and her husband actually went out and searched and found and dug up a lot of these items back in the 50s when they were putting this thing together. That's exactly what these letters are. Sister Clara's letters. That's exactly what it's talking about. This is copies of the correspondence from between Harold Warp and his sister about items as they found and purchased them. See, this copy's falling apart. You got to be careful with it. So what I did, and like I said, I didn't have a lot of time, so we only did two or three like this. But we found some of the cars that were in some of these letters, and then we were able to. Then I talked about the letters and the vehicles while we were looking at the cars. So I thought that was super cool. And like I said, I didn't have enough time or enough battery to do everything I wanted to do. But some of this stuff is just so super cool that, when you just look through this, just flipped it wherever in this book, Sister Clara's letters, and it talks about what they found and when they found things. And I'll see if I can see any car stuff just as I'm flipping that sounds kind of interesting. Because you've got to remember, a lot of these cars were bought, essentially they were used cars when they bought them. Alex says that's an interesting book. I don't know if he's got this one or not, but it is really cool. So I don't know if, like I said, well, right here, May 21st of 1957, we got Annie Hansen's 1916 Ford for $60. $60 for a 16T. But you got to remember, it's 1957. So that's and that's when they did this. This was all done back in the 50s. So there's so much cool stuff. Jason's here with us. So that's how I tried to do some of the videos while I'm talking about the cars. We talk about the letters of when they found them. Now, like I said, I want to do more of this because the stories are so cool, and to be able to tell the stories by reading the letters while we're looking at the car or truck, I think is super cool. So when we get those videos done, I really want your guys' feedback to know if you guys like them or not. Alex said, Alex parents had a copy of this, so he remembers it. Ozark Fox says he sold, he'll take it. Now there's something else. Now this is a super cool piece, and we don't have this in the video yet, but I think I've got it in some of the old videos. Randy's here from California. They bought a 1903 Buick engine that will be coming by truck from Flint, Michigan that you paid $500 for. It should be a good display piece. That is the only. Now you got to remember that was in 1958. They paid $500 for this engine, stationary Buick engine. It is the only known stationary Buick engine in the world that is left. It's the only one that anybody knows of. They paid $500 for it in 58. That was a ton of money for an engine. When I went out to Niobrara to pick up the Studebaker, I went to Aurora and bought a 1928 Chrysler for $87.50. $87.50. Got the 29 Buick for $150. So kind of crazy. But like I said, I'll be curious to see what you guys think when we have post the videos. So, but that's what I worked off of on some of these, and I want to do more because there's so many great stories in here, and to be able to tell the story of when they bought it while we look at the car, to me, I think is cool. I'll be curious to see what you guys think, but I dig it. The other book that they also have just for future reference, and this one is a little easier to find, is History of Man's Progress. And this one, I may work with some of this as well, but it talks about a lot of stuff in here. And it's got a whole section strictly on vehicles. And it talks a lot about the history of certain vehicles in the collection. So I'll be curious to see what you guys think of that. But we had a great time. I was super excited. And I picked up one other book that I haven't read yet, Over the Hill and Past Our Place by Harold Warp, the guy that put the collection together. So excited to get into this book as well. But thought that was pretty neat. So anyway, like I said, if you have not been to Pioneer Village, you need to be at Pioneer Village. You need to go to Pioneer Village. You need to check out Pioneer Village. Mike Wolf did go there earlier this year. They're supposed to be on an episode of American Pickers. I haven't shown those in a while. I'll throw them up next spring. So hopefully that will help boost their attendance as well. Absolutely amazing collection. Everything from toasters to trains there, and you don't want to miss it. And I got my signs. So I've got, 2 pieces of Pioneer Village history now in our personal collection. So to me, that's kind of cool. I dig it. Didn't really want to pay for 2 of them, but that's how it worked out. So what else is happening this week? Mecum, Kansas City, Thursday afternoon, Friday, and Saturday. At this point, we plan on being there all 3 days. Rico and Jess are planning on being there. If any of you guys are going to be there, let me know or look me up. Give me a shout. It'd be great to meet you. We'll just keep throwing these up there. How far is it from my yard to Pioneer Village? About 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45. About 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes. Right there, just a little under 3. It's less than 3, but it's over 2.5. So right in that window. So call it 2:45, I guess. And so that's about how far it is. Anthony loved the signs. The Buick engine is a stationary Buick engine, not a car engine. It is a stationary Buick engine. So yeah. Rico says they are going to be there. And like I said, so Mecum, Kansas City, the docket is filling up. I don't think I'm buying anything, but we always have a great time. And definitely we'll bring you some videos from there. My buddy Jim Wicks should be there. So if you guys want, maybe I can get Jim to do some more videos with us. We all learn something when we do videos with Jim. That's for sure. There's no doubt about it, especially on Ford stuff. There is no doubt that guy is, he's the Google of Ford performance. There is no doubt about it. So if you guys want, maybe we can catch Jim and do some videos with him. And he's got a pretty wide knowledge base anyway, but Fords are by far his specialty. So I know every time we've done them, I know I learned something, and I hope you guys are learning something too. So we'll see if we can him corral, depending on how busy he is, because he's working at those auctions. That's what he does. He buys cars for people. They call him, he looks them over, gives them a condition report, gives them an idea what they think it's worth, and then he charges them to handle the transaction for them, bid on the car, buy the car, arrange the shipping and everything. So, but so we'll try to get Jim corralled. Jeff likes it when we talk to Jim. Like I said, I always learn something. So Big Guys 45 is on with us. And I know a lot of times you guys have commented that you've always got something out of the Jim videos. So hopefully hopefully get him corralled. Plus we'll just do some cool stuff while we're there. Maybe we can get Rico and Jess to help us out, or if any of the rest of you guys are there, let me know, and we'll all try to hang out a little bit. Maybe we can all do some videos together. What else is happening? Okay, well, like I said, we're going to be at Mecum, so definitely let me know if you're going to be there. But something else we need to catch real quick before we get into the promo, the emblems, the auctions. Give you another one of these. I got something from Big Job this week. I got a big tube from Big Job. So I guess we're going to check it out. It's all duct taped up here on the end, so let's see if we can slit it open and see what Big Job sent. All right. Had it all duct taped up, but we got it off. So Doug's here with us. Didn't even need the knife. We got the knife ready. I got to hold the edge of the tape. We got her off there. So he sent me another tube. Okay. Let's get rid of this tube. We got a poster sign, something of something. It's all stretch wrapped in here. So Mark says the suspense is killing him. All right, here we go. It's Johnny Carson. I don't know if you guys can see it all or not. That's cool. I don't know. The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. It's kind of tough. It's been rolled up in there too long. There, maybe you guys can see it there. Number one's here. So thanks, Big Job. Appreciate that. I wonder if that was like a promotional poster or what. So Norman's got to jump off and get some rest. Glad you made it for a while. So that is a pretty neat piece. I don't know what the story is behind it. If Big Job knows anything about it, maybe he'll tell us. But the Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson. So that is pretty neat. Doesn't really say anything on it. So I don't know if Big Job knows anything more about it or not. But thanks, Big Job. Appreciate it. It's a cool piece. So there we go. Almost too big to show everybody. Alec digs it. It's a neat poster. I wonder what the story on it is, if it was some sort of a promotional deal. I mean, because it doesn't look like something they would, sell in a bookstore or anything. So looking in the mirror, I don't think it's looking in the mirror, but yeah, like I said, it's cool. I don't know where it came from, but okay. So he doesn't know either. So appreciate it, Big Job. Thanks. Appreciate you firing that off to me. Get it. I'm going to stick it back in this little tube so it doesn't get messed up. So cool piece. Thanks, Big Job. Appreciate it. Rick said he always enjoyed watching Johnny Carson show. Yeah, I remember watching when I was a kid. Big Job said he just found it on eBay under Johnny Carson memorabilia. So like I said, it doesn't look like something out of a bookstore. That's why I wondered if it was something cool, like, like a promotional poster or what. But it is a neat piece regardless. So thanks, Big Job. Appreciate it. Auburn badge. All right. Let's move on to the promo model. Let's check out some badges and emblems, and then let's get into some auction stuff. Auction boxes are packed. And actually, since we're going to Mecum next week, I got a ton of stuff ready. So I want to be a step ahead for next week. So, I've got piles of stuff in here. We usually try to do 15 to 20 auctions a night. I've got like almost 60 pieces piled up in here. So number one's going to be In and Out. He's got chops on the grill. That doesn't sound like a bad plan either. Any Mopar stuff? I'm sure there is. There's a little bit of everything in here. I don't even know what, but yeah, I think there's a few Mopar pieces. It's, like I said, it's stacked in there pretty good. How many cats tonight? Just Gray Kitty's over there. That's the only one that's in here right now. She's kind of sitting on the other desk, kind of like ignoring us like she's too good. So, but if she's on the other desk, that means she's not stepping on the keyboard and wrecking the chat. So, but anyway, tonight's promo model. This is a pretty cool one. At least I think it's a pretty cool one. It's a really unique one, and Bill will probably be able to enlighten us a little bit on it as well. The 1975 Cadillac Eldorado in kind of a minty green, not really a minty, kind of a minty lime green. I don't know. Zach's on with us. It's white interior, white bottom. This appears to be a painted body. It is a painted body in this kind of an odd metallic green. That's right. It's a man-sized Eldorado. That's for sure. Sam's here with us. The hood ornament is gone, but other than that, this is a pretty clean promo. I don't even remember where I got it. But, the bumpers aren't chipped up on it. It's got all the original tires and wheels. It is a sunroof car, which is kind of different. Pete's digging it. Yeah, it's a cool piece. I don't remember. Like I said, I don't remember where I got it, but I knew it was a great piece. And obviously, as you guys all know, I really like these 70s Cadillacs. Dad's got a 76 Eldorado convertible, a real low mileage original car that's super nice. We've talked about the 79 Cadillacs. Alex digging it too. Kevin likes it. Yeah. David, who was the last year for the ragtop? 76. This is a 75. 76 was the last year, which is essentially the exact same car. Dad's is a 76. Eloy here made it. But so 76 was the last year of the convertible. They used this this big body style up into 78, I think. Yeah, because 79 is when they changed to the front wheel drive, the smaller front wheel drive platform with the longer nose and the real short deck. So so this was a 75. They made the convertible up to 76. Dad's got it's a dark blue with light blue interior 76 convertible. But these are nice cars. I don't know. I think it's just because this is such an odd color is why this promo jumped out at me. Obviously, the condition is definitely good too. We do see there is a little hole here for a hood ornament, which is missing. But other than that, pretty nice piece. Yes, these were front wheel drive, and actually, believe it or not, the bottom of this car is correct. If we look at the bottom of this, we see, no drive line back here. We see a straight rear axle, no third member. We do see this, even though this is just a molded piece of plastic, it is laid out like it should be. So some actually, they didn't just use another base off of a normal car and slap the Eldorado body on it. They actually just made it. They did make it correct all the way around. So, like I said, very, very unique color with this kind of metallic mint green. I don't know, but definitely different. So, Johnny Z made it. It is like I said, it is a crazy color and not something you would typically see on a Cadillac, but that's why it stood out. Plus, the condition is great. Nice piece. And that's what we're here. That's why we do them. They're fun to check out these different promos from different eras and see the differences in some of them, back when they were friction, some of the specific details like this car being front wheel drive, all that's neat stuff. So there it is. The minty metallic type greenish with sunroof, white interior, 1975 Eldorado Coupe promo. Time for some emblems. Now, Alec, actually, Eldorado and Tornado were front-wheel drive in the late 60s. So, Riviera was not until 79, but Eldorado and Tornado were front-wheel drive starting in 66, I believe. So, Electric Pistachio. That's, pretty close to the right color, I think, number one. Bill Wagaman, our local promo expert, says it is a weird color, but that's what makes them rare. So, Alan worked at a Pontiac Cadillac dealership in the late 70s. Owner had a white 76 Eldorado convertible that he got to drive. So, yeah, they're cool. That car that Dad's got, I love that car. It's outstanding condition. That it's like a dark navy metallic blue, light blue interior, 497 feet long. It's just a gorgeous car. Plus, he had a 76 tag that he put on it, and the 76 tag that he got, because back then you have to have your county and then your first letter of your name was on it, and the tag that he's got on it was actually his dad, my grandpa's tag that he had his car in 76. So that's kind of a cool tie too, that he's got, my grandpa's car off my grandpa's tag of my grandpa's car from 1976 is the tag that Dad has on that Eldorado convertible. And my grandpa loved Cadillacs, so it all kind of fits. So Frank had friends that had that car in green, so he's probably seen the real color. So you keep all your promos in a display cabinet. I've got one big cabinet over here in the office that has probably 30 or probably has 40 of them in it. That's where I've got a big cabinet of it, but a lot of the other ones are scattered around somewhere over in the new building, things like that. There's still some in boxes in here too. So I have one big display cabinet, and then some of them are scattered other places. How about some badges and emblems? How about some Auburn badges? As always, we'll start off with a pre-war badge, then we'll jump it up to a post-war badge and talk about some more history on these vehicles. Dennis is here. Bill says he don't allow any green cars. Michael's on with us on Facebook. Gray Kitty is over there sleeping, which means she's not dancing on the keyboard. But for our first badge tonight, as always, we're going to back this one up a few years to the late 20s, early 30s. We've actually sold a few of these, but I don't think we've ever actually studied them and talked about them. Of the Triple Diamond International, we've sold a few. I don't think we've sold anything that was quite this good, but these are beautiful badges. The blue in the center, the white diamonds on the sides, the black international letters. This one is 3.5 by 2.5. These were a flat mount. These had the kind of the button on the back where they pushed them on the grill shell. According to American Auto Emblems, one of the greatest websites ever, this was used from 26 to 33. 34 to 36 used a similar type badge, but it was a little bit smaller and it was V'd. But this one, these were flat. A lot of you guys are digging that one. Yeah, that's the ones we've sold have not been quite this good. But that's why I thought, well, let's take a minute and study this one and talk about it. But that is correct, Brian. 6-speed specials are what these would have used, or what would have used these. But these are nice pieces. Like I said, it is pretty flat. These were a flat grill shell. The 34, 35, 36 had a slight V to them, or a little smaller. This one has a few scratches and a few chips in it, but it is a cool piece. Alex got one of the other ones, but he's like, he really liked that one too. So, but it is a cool piece. I mean, we could probably sell this one too if you guys want it. I don't care. It don't matter to me. I think this is still an extra. I just knew we hadn't really studied one that was nice. And if you look at the detail in this one, if we can get it up here close, you can see how the lettering actually has the kind of silver around them, like part of the metal. Then the black was filled in, really fairly well detailed for the, for the age. And you look at this thing up close. This one I got loose, but I've got several trucks in stock in this window, including some 6-speed specials. That the detail is really amazing on this international badge, the way they did them. So, with the metallic, this metal lining all the way around them, it had silver all the way around it, and it actually defined every diamond. None of this stuff was blurred together or run together or anything. The way they made this thing and outlined every single piece of it. It's kind of crazy to think of when you literally look at it up close that they put this much time and detail into just this thing here. Pretty cool piece. So, and it looks like everybody wants to buy it. Reno's, we got a bunch of bids on this thing already. I guess we can sell it. It is a spare. Reno is at 60 on it, so I guess we'll throw it in the auction box here in a little bit. Yeah, well, we got one more emblem to do before we get to the auction. So, I just thought we could sell it, but I guess we'll have to sell it now. So we'll set it off the side. We've got Reno at 60 right now. Yeah, that's true. Reno's pretty close to what I would think it would be worth. So we'll set this off the side, and we'll see if we can get to that in a minute. As we get to the next emblem and badge. That's right, Rico. People still believe in craftsmanship. And that's why I really wanted to point out the features and the detail, the way they did this, because they really did an amazing job on the craftsmanship just on this badge. So that's craftsmanship. That's exactly the perfect way to put it. The next emblem we're going to check out as we move up a few decades. These cars I think are kind of cool. Actually, it was the first car I ever bought. I've actually still got it, but it's really, really bad because after I sold it, by the time I found it again, there was not much left of it. But I've always had kind of a soft spot in my heart for these cars because it was the first car I ever bought, one that Dad had, and then I was always going to get it running and drive it. And of course, never did. It just sat, and then ended up selling it to a guy who needed some pieces off of it. And when I found it back, when I found it again, it was actually literally in the scrapyard on the bottom of the stack. So I went ahead and dig it out for me, and I bought it back because I knew the car, and I've had it in the yard for several years. But there isn't a lot left of it. 51, 52 Chrysler V8 cars or DeSotos. I've got 51 Imperial, but I've already sold the motor out of that, and I've got a 51 Windsor that's got a 331 in it. That still does have a motor in it. That's right, number one. There wasn't really any other way to do it back then other than to do it right. Yes, Bill, we've got some hubcaps tonight. Yes, Eric, we've got some more Auburn tonight. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. But the next badge we're going to catch right before we get to the auctions, and we'll get into them here shortly, is the dash emblem for the 1961 Pontiac Tempest. Then it's not a Windsor because it's got a 331, and it must be, I don't know, whatever the other model was. It because it does have a Hemi in it. So if the Windsor was only a 6, then this is the step above the Windsor. I don't remember what it was. But this is the dash emblem, so it's a smaller piece. And that's right. The Shop Cat digs it. And I a lot of times dash emblems are cool. A lot of times people don't think about dash emblems, but I've always digged dash emblems because they are neat pieces. So this one is 6 3/4 long and only about an inch tall. So it's about 6 3/4 and about an inch here. Eric's never seen one. Yeah, it's a neat piece. The 61 Tempest is a pretty unique car, obviously way ahead of its time. Extremely technologically advanced with a rear-mounted transaxle. I don't know how many of you guys were familiar with that. That Ozark Fox brought it up right there. Yep. They were a 4-cylinder, which was basically a 389 chopped in half with a transaxle. It basically had a shaft that ran straight from the engine, clear to the back of the car to the transaxle, and had a transaxle for the rear end. Yep, it is a beautiful design. It's a cool script. It's got the Pontiac Indian head here. So they were a super unique car for their day. And something definitely not very common. And then of course then they made the Super Duty cars with 421s in them. And they did a lot of cool things with that first generation of the Tempest. But to me, I've always thought they were cool because, like I said, it was the first car I ever bought, even though I never did anything with it. It was still the first car I ever bought. And like I said, I've got it back, but there wasn't much left of it when I found it. I actually even, okay, it's a Saratoga then. It's a Saratoga because it's not a New Yorker. And I've got an Imperial, so I know it's not an Imperial. So it's a Saratoga with a Hemi in it. So that's what it is. But it does still have the 331 in it. That is the only 5152 that I've got that still has a motor in it. So, but anyway, it's a neat piece. They were a very unique car, and it's a cool script. It's a cool font. It's cool. They got the little Pontiac badge at the end. It is pot metal, stud mounted, chrome plated, cool little piece. So, my contact info is actually in the description of the video. I tour Fiddler. My number's in there. If you click on the description for this video or any of the rest of my phone numbers in most of them, unless I just forgot to put it in. My phone number's in about any of the videos if you click on the description. So then you just give me a shout tomorrow. But there it is, the 1961 Pontiac Tempest dash emblem. No problem, Arturo. That's why I put them in there, because that happens. So Anthony's thirsty. We better throw some of these up. Well, what the heck? Let's give you both of them. Let's get primed up and get ready for some auction time. All right. We'll go through some rules. And real quick, before we get into the auction, we'll go over our regular housekeeping. Autocorrect, please double check your comment before you send it. If I can't make out your comment because autocorrect changed something, I will skip it just because I don't have time to try to decipher it. Trolls, as always, you guys are great running them off. I ignore them. They want my attention. We had a few try to pop up earlier. You guys are great about reporting them and running them off, letting them know they're not welcome here, so that we can keep this as an open chat and not have to go to a membership group to do it. That's right, Jason. That's the next point. Like and share. Appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. Always appreciate your guys' support on that stuff as well. If you're on the Nobody Show page on Facebook, I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. You'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto page or the Nobody Show channel on YouTube to comment. Trolls will be evicted. That's right, Eli. Appreciate that. Let's see. What's a complete Ford 1-ton 50 flathead pickup worth? It's hard to say, Jody, without seeing it. There's so many differences and so many variables that can make a huge difference in value that it's hard to say. Could be 500, could be 50,000. You just don't know. So, but anyway, on the auction, I don't know, a lot of you guys have heard this a million times, but I always go over it because if I don't, we always have a few people confused. How we'll do it, I'll hold up a piece. We'll look at it. We'll talk about it. We'll look at the description. We'll talk maybe a little bit about the history. I'll give you the dimensions on it. We'll all check it out. At that point, you can go ahead and start throwing bids out there. And if you're interested, go ahead and throw something out there so that I know we have interest in that piece. Sometimes we have something that people don't want. We just don't sell it. So go ahead and throw out an opening bid if it's something that you're interested in to get us started as we're talking about it, as we're looking at it. After I get done describing it, we kind of have things rolling. I will put it on a timer. We will have 2 minutes. I just use my cell phone, click this on the timer. We will go for 2 minutes. I will tell you when 1 minute has passed. I will tell you when 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. When I tell you a minute 30 has passed, be thinking about your max bid and be ready to put it in. Everybody has a delay on this feed. Some people it's 5 seconds. Some people it's 30 seconds. It usually takes a few items for people to kind of get used to that delay and figure out where we're at and what's going on. So please remember you've got that delay. When I tell you there's a minute 30 left, that's specifically why I do it, to tell you there's a minute 30 passed and you've only got 30 seconds left. So you have time to get that last bid in. Inevitably, there is always something that, people's their bids come in just a little bit late. A lot of you guys out of the first few items, you figure out where your delays at, and the snipers are out there and they're good at it. So please keep that in mind when I tell you when we passed a minute 30. Payment, check, money order, Western Union, PayPal, friends and family only. So if you want to use any of that, if you want to use PayPal, that's fine, but it's got to be friends and family only. They changed their rules a few years ago, and it's not fun. If say you buy something and I'm packaging it and I drop it and it breaks and I have to refund you on regular PayPal, they still keep all the fees. And they take all the money they're giving to you back from me. They don't refund any of what they take. So it's not really fair for anybody. So that's why I don't do regular PayPal anymore, because if something happens, I have to pay the difference. So non-U.S. bidders, you're more than welcome to play. We do have some people on. I know we had somebody from Australia on last week. I don't know if they're back with us this week, but non-U.S. bidders, you're more than welcome to play. You will have to figure out how to pay me, and usually, because there's usually a fees associated with that. Yep, Doug, money orders fine, no problem. Every week I still get 2 or 3 or 4 checks or money orders every week from guys that just that don't use PayPal. Not a problem at all. Non-U.S. bidders, there's usually a $30 or $40 fee for a wire transfer to my bank, and then you'll be responsible for shipping as well. If you want to buy for a couple of weeks and then do it, so you only have to pay for 1 wire transfer, 1 shipping, I have no problem with that either. Just let me know what we're doing so that I know that's where what's going on with it. So, and I know, as always, if you've got any questions or you're not sure about something, just call me tomorrow. That's why my number's on the page. If you want to go ahead and bid, go ahead and bid. If you buy something or buy a couple things, we had one of our bidders last week that was a first time buyer, and he just called me and said, "Hey, is this what I'm doing? Am I doing it right?" Sure, no problem, not a big deal. Just let me know, and I'll walk you through it, and we'll make sure it won't be an issue. So, if you're still not sure but you want to bid, go ahead and we'll get it figured out tomorrow. So, lots of comments popping up. Leo says I'm like a car god. I don't know if I can go quite that far, but I appreciate the comment, Leo. Let's see what else is going on. Shopcat says he's usually a 10 to 20 second delay, and that does vary depending on your device and your service: phone, PC, tablet, laptop, and then your service provider. So, like I said, some people are 5 seconds, some people are 20 seconds or 30 seconds. But Ozark says his brain is the delay. Car guys, check it, ready to check the delay. Bill's still on a leftover turkey delay. So that being said, that's kind of how we do it. Leo likes the suspense. If I miss something, don't hesitate to ask. If you want to bid, go ahead and bid, and call me tomorrow if you've got any questions. And like I said, other than most small items, shipping is included. There's a couple things down here that are bigger that will have additional shipping unless it's a non-U.S. shipment. Reason being because this deal kind of funds itself. And if I spend all the money shipping 2 packages to Europe and there's nothing left to replenish the stock for everybody else, that's not fair. So Anyway, that being said, I guess we can go ahead and get rolling in the auctions before we get to the magazine tonight. And obviously, we've already talked about a piece that seems to be a lot of interest in on the international badge. So, like I said, Reno was at 60. We'll roll from there. We'll see. It is going to, I don't want to sell that for 60. I know that. It's going to take a little bit more than that, but I don't think that, excuse me, I don't think we'll have too much trouble getting there on this piece because it is beautiful. We'll look at it again. We'll hold it up again, let you guys check it out since you guys had a lot of interest in it. I had Reno at 60 to start us off. That isn't quite there, but we are getting close. It is flat. This one is chipped up here in the white. It does have some scratches in it, but overall, it is a super cool piece. Travis is here. Said Leo said to check him out. Appreciate that, Leo. Appreciate it when you guys do send send your friends over, send your buddies over, and hang out with us. That's what this is about. That's how we grow. That's how we get better. That's how we get more knowledge in the chat, is by you guys bringing your friends in. So Jason's at 75. Reno's at 80. Man, we're getting close. I guess, I don't know. Should we go ahead and sell it? Let it go? Reno at 80. Oh, dimensions. That's right. I got to give you the dimensions. Sorry about that. Glad you threw that up, Rico. It is almost 3.5. Not quite 3.5, just a tick under 3.5, and 2 5/8. So 3.5, 2 5/8. So a decent sized piece. Put it up against your hand. It is noticeable. Jason's at 85. Rico saying sell it. Mark says that as far as Mark's concerned, the reserves met. Reno's at 90. Everybody says sell it, sell it, sell it. All right, let's sell it. Let's put it on the timer. Here we go. We are live. Reno at 90. We are on the timer. We're going to go ahead and let her fly. Let's see what happens. Ozark says, I see a badge I'm drinking. He doesn't care what badge it is. He's good to go. We are live on the timer. I've got Reno at 90 on this beautiful international badge. Alec at 100. I think Alex already got one of these, but I don't think his is quite this good. So as we're ticking along, we're getting close to the minute mark. Yeah, we're kind of starting out big. So Alec at 100. We're about to the minute mark. Big Job says it's going to be a shootout. It might be. This is a cool piece. 1 minute has now passed. Alec at 100. Have to keep an eye out on this one. Reno 105. Minute 20 has passed. We're about to that minute 30 mark. Be thinking about those max bids. It's going to get ugly because a minute 30 has now passed, which means on your screen it's just going to be about done. Reno at 105. 20 seconds left. 15. 10. Reno at 105. And that does it. Reno at 105. And that is a beautiful piece. And Alec came back at 110 just a few seconds too late. Charlie's here. Another one sent over from Leo. Appreciate that, guys. Cool piece. So, all right. Appreciate the help, Leo, sending your buddies over. That's great. Glad to see him here. All right. That was an exciting start. Let's mix some things up tonight. We just did that. right. I don't know, where should we start? We got cans, plates, caps, emblems, badges, toys. Holy cow, we got stuff to go through. All right, let's do a couple other emblems here. Since we were talking about early Chryslers, let's do some stuff from the 50s. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm sure it's Chrysler from the 50s. And maybe Arturo will help us out with this. It's a big, huge Chrysler V. It's cool. It's beautiful. It's got a little piece of wire hanging on there, but yeah, it is Mopar. It has the Mopar part number on the back, but I never was for sure what it is. Yeah, we've got plates tonight, Mark. We've got a little bit of everything. This is a cool V. I think it's early 50s, probably like early 50s Imperial. The the wingspan is 10 3/4. It has kind of some serrated edges here. Almost kind of looks like wings. Leo says you can put it on the fly. Yep. Artur says it looks like a hood. Trunk is small, is similar but smaller. Doug says looks Dodge. Fairly flat. So I mean that would tend to be trunk for me, but it might be hood. I don't know. But it is a cool piece. It is shiny. It's got a couple pits in it up here. Like I said, the wingspan is 10 3/4. And if I sit it flat on the desk, it's about 5.5. About 5.5 from the bottom up to here, going like this, 10 3/4 across. Yeah, I'm sure there was something here as well, but I'm not. I got this loose from when I bought all those parts from my buddy, so that's why it's got this little hanging wire on it when it was hanging with those other parts. So that's where I got it, but it is a cool piece. I just don't know for sure what it is, but I'm sure it's that era of Mopar. And one other little Mopar badge to go with it is a 54 Dodge Royal V8 dash emblem. This actually has a chip at the bottom of it. And if you look at the front and actually see these little clear dots, those were the studs. When I tried to take the clips off, the studs broke. So it is flat now. They did have plastic studs on it, but it is Royal V8, 54 Dodge dash. And then this, I think it's Chrysler. Maybe it's Dodge. I don't know, on the V, on the big Chrysler V8 badge. So both pieces, won money for our Mopar friends on some early 50s stuff. Jason at 30 is going to start us off. We'll go ahead and kick this thing off on the timer. And here we go. We are live on the timer. I'm going to make some notes here. And Jason is at 30 is our first bid on this. It's cool stuff. So Alan says hood emblem for 5152 New Yorker and Imperial. So Pete says it's Chrysler hood, New Yorker hood as well. So that's what I thought. I thought it was Chrysler. Didn't know hood or trunk, but I thought it was early 50s Chrysler is what I was pretty sure it was. Regardless, it is a pretty cool statement piece. And we'll put the little Royal V8 in there with it. Jason at 30. As we come up to the 1 minute mark on these Mopar pieces, 1 minute has now passed. Jason is our only bid at 30. That'd be a pretty cool bash for $30. So we'll see what happens here. Let me dig out a license plate. One minute 26 has passed. Anything over 30, Artur, 35. Artur at 35. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Artur at 35. Randy says 53, 54 Chrysler. Artur at 35, 20 seconds left to go. 15. Artur at 35 is my high bidder. We're coming out of the wire. 10. Jason at 38. And that does it. Jason at 38 takes that one home. Yeah, Rick, it had. I'm sure it had something here, probably a Chrysler emblem or something, but it had something that went with it, I'm sure. But cool pieces, that's for sure. Tour says he actually has the car that uses that. Zach says it's like the one on his 53 New Yorker hood. License plate time. We'll start off with kind of a starter plate here. A nice plate, but a little bit of surface rust. Still presents well. 3-digit number, which is always cool. So we'll start off with this one. We got lots of license. I got lots of everything right now. Because like I said, I loaded everything up. So I've got a lot of cool stuff. So we'll work through part of it tonight. We'll start off with kind of a cheaper plate, but still a cool one because it is a 3-digit number. It is a 1956 Kansas. So RP 3-digit 861. The plate is pretty straight. It's been a little bit, but it's got a little bit of surface rust up here in the corner, a little bit of surface rust down here, but still, very clear. This was a white plate, black lettering, Kansas, 1956. This actually showed the cutout of the state of Kansas up here. Yep, Korean chrome on tour. That's what I always called that, Korean chrome, where they had that really, really poor chrome in the early 50s. Yep, Doug, we've got oil cans tonight. Oil cans, license plates, toys, one sign, hubcaps, emblems, badges, ornaments. We'll see how far we get tonight. So, yeah, this is a good wall hanger. It does present well. It is a low number. Like I said, with a little bit of surface rust, it's not a super high dollar plate, but, we want to keep it to where everybody can play. So, cool piece. If anybody wants to jump in and kick us off on the 1956 plate, the back of it looks pretty good too. It's not all rusted or peeling on the back. RP 3-digit 861 1956 Kansas plate. So let's see. Don't have anybody on the 1956 plate at all. So we need to throw this back in with some other stuff. Randy says it wasn't even chrome. It was, okay. Jeff's going to kick us off at 10. Lee at 15. Okay, there we go. We'll go ahead and get rolling then. It's like usually at plates, we usually have a few guys start us off right away on plates. That's why it kind of threw me off there for a second. We are rolling. It is mine. I've got Lee at 15. That's a Wizard of Oz plate. Yep. Jeff at 16. Oh, and we're rolling on this one. Vatican embassy plates. That'd be kind of interesting. We got any ag fans on tonight? I've got a couple of ag pieces. I don't know if any guys like ag stuff or not. Jason at 20 as we hit the 1 minute mark. Alec came in at 18 just as I had Jason at 20. But if we got any ag guys on with us tonight, let me know. I've got a couple of ag related pieces that are kind of cool. One toy and some cans that you guys might like. So let me know if we got some ag fans out here for some ag stuff. Jason at 20. 1 minute, 20 seconds has now passed. And we're coming up on the 1:30 mark. We have hit the 1 minute, 30 second mark, 30 seconds left on this, which means by the time you see this part, we will just about be done. Jason at 20. Brian likes the ag stuff. Anybody else on here for this stuff? 20 seconds left. Lee, 21. 10 seconds to go. I've got Lee at 21. Joe likes tractors. Maybe we'll bust a couple of Ag pieces out. And Lee at 21 on the 1956 plate. All right, so we've got some Ag fans on, so let's do a couple of Ag things. What the heck, huh? Tour said the hood ornament goes above the big V. It has. Oh, that's right. I remember that odd circle on those early 50s Chrysler hood ornaments. Yeah, it just kind of has a circle sticking out front. Well, we'll start off with one of the Ag pieces, then we'll do the toy a little bit later. But how about a couple of cans? We want to do some cans. I've got some oil cans too, but we'll do a couple of Ag related cans next. These are fresh off the farm. If you saw the video on the big farm auction, these came out of a building from the farm auction. They're actually paint cans, but they are specific paint cans. The first one, Allis-Chalmers. We can see the AC symbol on here. Actually, it was Allis-Chalmers orange. We got a little bit spilled out. It is empty. Has a little fading over here, but definitely still see the AC symbol on it with the orange and white can. It has a little extra orange on this as well. So there's the first Ag-related can. This next one is also a paint can, and it's pretty cool too. For Case. Case Equipment Enamel, J.I. Case Company, Racine, Wisconsin. It's got a little bit of rust on it too. But these are factory paint cans. One for Allis-Chalmers, one for Case. So, anybody dig these things? Like I said, they're not in the best of shape, but I thought they were cool, especially being actually factory paint for these pieces of equipment. So, Bill Disc, better late than never, been on the road for 4 hours. Oh, I'm glad you made it. So, Big Job remembers using these cans. So, like I said, is there any interest in these things, or do I throw them back in the box and do something with them later? I just thought they were kind of cool, being the actual, not just something from the farm store. These were actually the manufacturer's cans. So Jason's going to throw 10 out there to get us started. So we'll see. Maybe Jason gets them for 10. I don't know. So let's get it on the timer. I'm going to make my notes. I've got Jason at 10 to start us off. I'm going to write these up and see if you guys like them, or if Jason's going to steal them for 10. They're just cool pieces. This, I don't know what the Desert Sunset is. It looks like it was kind of a beige or something. I emptied it, but it was so, half of it was almost solidified. So who knows what it was supposed to be when it was mixed up. But Jason at 10, he may steal these, but it's better than leaving them lay there to rust into the ground or be thrown in the trash bin. So Alec at 15. I've got Alec at 15. Dennis was at 11, but I've got Alec at 15 on Facebook. As we're just about to the 1 minute mark. 1 minute has now passed. I've got Alec at 15 on the pair. You're getting both for one money. And 1 minute, 20 seconds has passed. Jason at 16. I've got Jason at 16. 1 minute, 20 seconds has passed. Almost to that minute 30 mark. Jason at 16. As we hit 1:30, which means by the time you see this, we're going to be just about done. Jason at 16. $20 seconds left to go. Reno at 17. 10 seconds left. Alec was at 17 right after that. We're coming down to the wire. I had Reno at 17 first. We're down to the last few seconds. Does anybody sneak in on this one? No, Reno at 17. Okay. Let's see. Trying to make sure I didn't miss anything too important. But like I said, I knew those weren't high dollar cans, but it's better than leaving them lay there and rust into the ground or be thrown in the trash. So, because they were too cool having the factory names on them. All right. Addie's not here tonight, but she got a bunch of hubcaps ready for us for the next several weeks. So we'll do one of her caps next. And she's got like 4 boxes of them ready for us. So we got lots of her caps to work through. Like, we'll stick with what we've been doing. We'll do a few of them every week and keep working through these things. So, but this is going to be her money. So I'll get it forwarded on to her on her hubcaps. Mike's on from Texas. Zach's ready for some caps. They're stuffed in here pretty tight. This box is full. Starting off with a Chevy cap from the late 60s. Bill Dish said he found the truck that I was looking for with the motocross truck. You can send it to my phone since I'll be watching for it now that I know what it is. But yeah, that if you found that motocross truck, I'd be pretty excited to see that. And if it's for sale, I'm probably interested. So, but anyway, this is a cap from the late 60s era, commonly seen on like the Camaros and stuff. They're going for the muscle car look. This is an original. It's got a few dingies in it, but a pretty good looking cap on this little Chevrolet dog dish. Great shine on this one. We can see a few little dingies in it, but there again, you can buy new ones from China, but these things are the ones that tell the story. This was, you never know. This could have been on a 6-cylinder Chevelle, or it could have been on a Copo. You don't know, but they're still cool caps. This one's obviously got a great shine. Mark's starting us off right out of the gate at 20. Whiskey Business is slapping his sunglasses on. Back of it looks pretty good. Presents very well. Just a few dings and dents in this one, but nothing serious at all. But a good-looking cap from that era, and definitely a statement piece with a big bow tie in the middle of it. Let's kick this thing off on the timer. Leo's more sweet golden goodness. That's we got an awful lot of that on here for you, Leo. I do like your descriptions, though. They are very colorful. Mark at 20. Alec at 25. Get my notes made here and make sure I mark it for Addie. As we're taking along, Alec at 25. Mark, 27. And 1 minute has now passed. I've got Mark at 27 on the little Chevy cap. Oh, this is a smaller cap. I forgot to give you the dimensions. 10 and a half. It's about 10 and a half in diameter. Alec at 30. 1 minute, 20 seconds has now passed. I've got Alec at 30. You can see us right there in the cap. 1 minute, 30 seconds has now passed. Alec at 30 is our high bidder. Mark at 33 with 20 seconds left to go. Mark at 33. Pete at 39 with 10 seconds left. Johnny Z at 40. We're coming down to the wire. Zach at 42. And that does it. Zach at 42. Zach got that. That was Alec was coming back. Zach at 42 was who we had, and he hit that. That popped up at about 158. I mean, he timed that about perfect. So that was a great shot. Let's do something a little different. This is another emblem or badge, but we've never done anything like this before. It's pretty cool. It's a two-piece deal, and it's kind of a neat emblem. Starting off with this. It's a ring. Yeah, it's a ring. Slight curvature to it. Nice bright chrome. Stud mount. Cool piece. It is 4 3/4 in diameter. So this ring is 4 3/4 in diameter. So what's the rest of it? Nope. Jason's guessing Oldsmobile, but that's not right. You're close. You're close, but it's not Oldsmobile. Now, there's a cool piece that goes right here in the middle of this. That's right, Mark. It is a Buick. Hyler was guessing Mercedes. Nope, it is Buick. Jason was guessing, gave him a Buick as well. This is a trunk ornament off of an early 60s Buick Special. Obviously, the plastic is faded. You know, this would have been, you know, red, white, and blue in these inserts as the Buick Tri-Shield is. The chrome is really nice. The plastic is there. I mean, you could actually paint the back side of this and kind of fill it back in. The Buick ornament is pretty much flat. It is stud mount. It's kind of a unique piece. The plastic, I had to re-glue the plastic in the back of it because it fell out, but it didn't break. So I did re-glue the plastic back in it. So it's a two-piece deal. Anybody interested in it? It's kind of a unique deal that's a little bit different than what we typically have seen on here. Typically, we're used to the little scripts with the ornaments and the emblems. And I've got Alec at 15 to kick us off. So Mark at 20. Oshkosh or Autocar stuff. Do not have anything on Oshkosh or Autocar stuff, Highlander. I don't think I've got anything at all there. Mark at 20. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer so we can keep moving. And I will get my notes made. And I've got Mark at 20 as we're taking along on this. Alec at 23. Like I said, other than the fact that this is, the colors are faded, this is pretty nice. The chrome is nice. The studs are intact. There's no breaks or chips in the metal. Alec at 23 is my current high bidder. As we're working towards the 1 minute mark. And we're there. 1 minute has now passed. Alec at 23. Must not have a lot of Buick fans on here. That's kind of why I wanted to try it, because I didn't know if you guys would dig it or not think it was cool at all. I kind of like it. I think it's kind of neat. But what the heck? Let's throw it up and see if you guys like it. Alec likes it for 23 bucks. We'll see if anybody else likes it even more than that as we hit the 1 minute, 20 second mark. Alec at 23 is my high bidder. Can't even hold it all together hardly. And 1 minute 30 has passed. Alec at 23 is my high bidder. Coming down to the wire on this one. Alec at 23 with 20 seconds left to go. Mark at 25. Mark at 25. We're coming down to the wire on this. Jason at 26. 10 seconds left. Jason at 26 is my high bidder. Just about ready to wrap this one up. And Jason at 26 on the little Buick emblem. So, yeah, you're right, Michael. It is a cool looking little piece, that's for sure. All right, let's do something else. We've done a few of these on here before, but not a lot. I've got a bunch of these. I just got to get them dug out, but and go through what I've got duplicates of, because this is something else. We've done a few of on here, but not a lot. I've got a couple of them for tonight, but I know I've got a lot more, and they're great display pieces. I really like these things, and like I said, I've got a couple tonight, and I've got a couple laid out for next week. But I've got several boxes of them. I just got to sort through them. And these are the little grease caps from the cars from the teens up through the 30s. This particular one is for a Nash. These are kind of neat. They're great little display pieces. They don't take up a lot of real estate. This one is 3 3/8 in diameter. Most of these are dinged and scratched because they're an aluminum cap. Jeff's starting us off at 15 on this Nash. Technically, it is a grease cap. The Nash, Jason has some of these. These had these little inserts in them. This one actually has a little tiny hole in it where you can put a wrench in there to spin them off. These are threaded on the inside because these literally just screwed right on the hub, and that's what kept the grease packed in the bearings. Alec was at 10, but I've got Jeff at 15 already. So you can look inside the back of it. This one is used. We sold the new old stock Auburn one last week, which was super cool. This one is for a Nash. I'm going to guess it's late 20s, early 30s. Rico is at 30 on it. Let's kick this thing off on the timer and get rolling. Let me give you the depth on it as well. It's about 2 inches deep altogether on the super cool little Nash cap. All right, we're ticking along here. We got my notes made. I've got Rico at 30. Unique little piece. Like I said, I need to get through my boxes and get some other cool ones out because I've always liked these. We've had a bunch of them hanging around the shop over the years. Cool little pieces. And like I said, stuff that, this stuff doesn't cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars a piece unless they're new stock Auburn ones or some of those. But, these ones that are used that have some dings and dents, you don't have to break the bank to put together a nice collection of them. Yeah, it is aluminum, Kenny. 1 minute has now passed. Rico at 30. Thanks, Bill. I'll take a look at that here in a little bit. One minute, 20 seconds has now passed. And a minute 30 is gone, so we're down to the last 30 seconds. Keep an eye out on both formats on this one. Rico at 30 as we get to, we have down to 20 seconds. 10. And that does it. We'll mark that one to Rico for 30. And then the bids come pouring in. Figures. 2 more bids right after that. Just at 201 and 202, or just right after that. But that happens. That happens sometimes. Man, that one was tight because there were 2 bids, boom, boom, right after that. Did Auburn make their own plugs? That I'm not sure about. I don't think they did, but that doesn't mean some company didn't call. There's just like Packard plug wires, things like that. So, but I don't think they specifically made an Auburn spark plug. Not that I know of. Let's do an oil can. This is a great looking can. That's what I figured, Rigo. This can here is another one fresh off the farmstead. That's close, Bill, but that's not a super cab. The one I had was a super cab. So that's close, but not exactly the one I was looking for. So close, but I appreciate you keeping an eye out for me because that is super cool to see that. But unfortunately, not the exact one. Just watch out for that super cab. That's the big thing. So Highlander's got to bail off. Glad you made it for a while tonight. Ozark Fox is back. Let's see. Yeah, that's right, Bill. That's why I bought the one I got. So let's get on to this oil can. Another one fresh off the farmstead. Few dings and dents in it, but not a. But it presents great. It is empty, and I'm going to show you what, and I'm going to show you how they drained it too. So Phillips 66. This is metal, but it seems to be an aluminum can. Beautiful colors on this thing. Does have some dings and dents. It's dented a little bit right here. The back is dented up, but at least it's on the back. Great colors on this thing. Like I said, it's got the seam over here. Jeff at 15 is kicking us off on this one. Like I said, it is metal, but I think it's aluminum, not a steel can. It has some information on the back of it. We'll hold it up. All that is still all very clear. But what I really got a chuckle out of this can, and I think you guys will too, Brian at 20, is the top of it. Church keyed it. Pour her in. You know, they didn't hit this one with the spout. They church keyed it. I thought that was, I don't know. It's kind of dumb, but I thought it was cool. Pure Pontiac at 25. Let's go ahead and kick it. Let's get it on the timer and get rolling as we finish checking it out. Like I said, it's got some dings and dents. It is not perfect by any means, but it still looks cool. It presents very well. Pure Pontiac at 25 right now on the Phillips 66 can. That's right, both ends of the church key. And Tweedledee, it does have great color. Pure Pontiac at 25. I had Alec was 25 also, but I had Pure Pontiac first right before your 25 popped up. So I just thought that was cool. Like I said, another one there again, off that old farmstead. Alec at 30. But great color on this thing. It says Canco on the side of it. Alec at 30 as we come up on the 1 minute mark on the little Phillips can. One minute, 20 seconds has passed. Alec at 30. And we've now hit the 1 minute, 30 second mark. If you're going to jump in on this one, now is the time. I've got Alec at 30. Cool looking can for $30, especially being metal. 20 seconds left. 15. 10. Tweedledee at 31. Pete at 42. And that does it. Pete at 42. Those were a couple of good shots right there at the end. All right, I just thought that was such a great looking can. I was excited about it. About time for another license plate, isn't it, guys? We did one of these a few weeks back. This is another similar one. These were kind of a unique. in the 1950 Kansas plate. These were an aluminum plate and basically done in raw aluminum with green letters. I don't know if you guys remember that one or not. We did one a while back. Here's another one in a Kansas 1950. Now, what we're looking at here, this is basically a standard size plate, like 12 by 6, I think. Yeah, 12 by 6. The normal size license plate, like we're familiar with today. This is basically an aluminum plate, stamped out of aluminum. This gray you see is raw aluminum with kind of a forest green letters. This is a 3-digit, 36 was the county, 724 3-digit plate, really in pretty good shape. Slight bow to it, but not bad considering it's 70-some years old. Back's nice and clean, not all corroded or rotten or anything like that. Pretty clean 1950 plate. So, that's right. It's a good point, Pure Pontiac. We haven't had any drinks in a long time. I bet you guys are getting really thirsty, so we better load you up. I better keep these things in front of me so that I don't forget to keep giving them to you. So anyway, 1950 Kansas plate. Got anybody interested in that? Kind of a different, unique one with the raw aluminum backing and green lettering on it. So lots of people drinking. Is anybody ready to bid or not? Or do we throw it back in the box? Eric's going to jump in 15. That's what I figured. So the license plate guy's been a little slow tonight, so starting to wonder there. Eric at 15. We'll go ahead and throw it on the timer. I'm going to get some notes made here so I don't forget which one we're talking about. Mark at 25. Eric at 27. These are kind of unique, being, I guess you can see on the back, it's basically just raw aluminum. It was never painted on the back, never painted on the front. They just went across it with the forest green and sent it out the door. Eric at 27 is my high bidder. Alex jumping in, but Eric's already got everybody covered up with his $27 bid. Try to not keep slacking on you guys. Okay, kind of keep sliding these up here for you. Eric at 27. As we hit the 1 minute mark on the 1950 Kansas license plate, Eric at 27 is my high bidder. We are on the back side of this thing. And we've got a couple of really special pieces coming up yet, so we'll get a few of those worked in here shortly. But a couple things, well, this one piece has been laying there for about 3 or 4 months, and I've been on the fence, even though it's a duplicate. Like 120 has passed, I'm still on the fence about it, so we're going to talk about it. Eric at 27, 1 minute, 30 seconds has now passed. Slide another one of those in for you. $20 seconds. 15. Big Job says we got a shooter on the roof as we got less than 10 seconds left to go. Eric at 27. And that'll do it. Eric at 27. That's kind of a unique plate the way they did those. So we'll mark that one to Eric for 27. How about we do another one of Addie's little caps? This is kind of a different one. I believe this is 60s era as well. A little bit different, a little bit off the beaten path. I'm guessing this is probably early 60s. It is a stainless cap off of a little Rambler with the cool little red R in the middle. Shop Cat, fighting a cold and alcohol is a disinfectant. Sounds like a great excuse to me. Slide a Hudson badge in there. But this little Rambler cap, it is stainless steel. No, it's Rambler, Shop Cat. Early 60s era, I think, Rambler, maybe mid-60s. The R was red. You can see a little bit of the red in it still. Eric's at 20 on it. Mark at 25. Kind of serrated around the edges. So like I said, it's a little bit different, but that's what's cool about it. It's got some dings and dents, but that's what we talk about on a lot of this stuff. That's because it's original. This stuff was on a car. It went down the road in the 60s. It has a story to tell. And that's why we do this. So Zach's got one of these. It is, once again, 10 inches in diameter. So it's 10 inches across. The back of it's nice and clean. Perfect little wall hanger. Something a little bit different that's going to catch people's eye. Mark at 25 is my high bidder as we hit the timer on this one. That's right, Johnny Z. It does kind of look like a bottle cap. Pete, that's what became of Nash. Yeah, it all kind of rolled together. Yeah, that's where it all ended up at, was Rambler and AMC. And yeah, that's kind of where it all rolled. Yeah, you could. That's right, Shopcat. You could work some of the dings out. So. Randy says he's got a set from his first car, a Rambler American. As we're coming up on the 1 minute mark, 1 minute has passed on the cool little Rambler. Mark at 25 is my high bidder. Cool little wall hanger. I don't know why this is just all decoration, but yeah, it did. When you said that bottle cap comment, it sure reminded me of it. That's kind of what it looks like. So 10 inches in diameter, stainless steel. And 1 minute, 20 seconds has now passed. Mark at 25 is my high bidder on the cool little Rambler cap. 1 minute, 30 seconds has now passed. We're on the backside of this one. We're winding down. 20 seconds left to go. Mark at 25. 10. That's right, Leo. The Marlin was super cool. Just about ready to wrap this up. Mark at 25. And that does it. Mark at 25 on the little Rambler cap. Apparently, number one is betting against the Packers because he said he may lose more money. I told our ag friends we had an ag toy. Let's do it real quick. If anybody's interested in it, I don't know. Like I said, this is a little outside the wheelhouse, but some of this ag stuff gets mixed in. So if you guys are interested, we'll sure try it. So, Alan, Nash Rambler merged with Hudson in 54 to become American Motors. Nash and Hudson names gone after 57. Thanks for clearing that up, Alan. I knew that was kind of all in that window, but I didn't remember all the dates. So appreciate that. But that's what's great. You guys are on top of it. You interject and make this chat what it is. That's why I always tell you it is a chat. It's not Chad sitting in front of the computer. It's a chat, and all your guys' knowledge is what really makes that a great chat. So here's something else a little bit outside of the wheelhouse. We'll see if there's any interest in it. And if there's not, we won't have to worry about it. But like I said, some of this ag stuff gets mixed in. And if you guys are interested in it, we'll throw it up and see what you think. I know you like the Auburn badge. But it's a little John Deere toy planter. No idea if you guys like this or not, so you tell me. If not, I'll throw it back in the box. Has the John Deere sticker on it. Opens up at the top. Says John Deere on the back of it. Has both original wheels on it. Has a little hitch on it. Has this little lever mechanism to do something. Don't know much about these, so I'm seeing if you guys like it. If you don't, we don't have to worry about it. I threw it in the box to check with you. Jason says he's going to do 10 on it. So Jason will kick us off at 10. I say we'll just go ahead and do something with it. Bill at 12. Mark at 15. So, yeah, let's go ahead and sell it. If you guys like it, that's fine with me because I don't really know much about it. All I know about ag toys is I call my buddy Mike because he has like every ag toy. but like almost everything John Deere ever made, he's got it new in the box. So, but it's a neat little piece. Let's go ahead and throw it on the timer. Mark at 15 is my high bidder on the little John Deere planter. Don't know a thing about it, but it's got to be worth that. So, Randy at 18. Randy at 18. We are live on the timer on the little whatchamacallit doohickey John Deere planter thingy. Whatever that means. Live action planter, I guess. I don't know. Randy at 18's our high bidder. Hitch and everything on it. Oh, look, this stuff moves too. Ain't that cool? That's right, Alec. We only have the tractor for it. And like I said, some of this stuff I end up with it with boxes of car toys, so that gets mixed in sometimes. 1 minute has now passed. I've got Randy at 18. It was probably, yeah, it's a drill, Rusty. I'm sure it's a drill, but I mean, Deere has sold toys for years, so I'm sure it was just a toy that they sold. But like a promo for ag equipment. But Buchanan's here with us. Glad you made it tonight. 1 minute, 20 seconds has passed. I've got Randy at 18. One minute, 30 seconds has passed. I've got Randy at 18 is my high bidder on the little John Deere planter. Mark at 20. 20 seconds left to go. 15. 10. Big job at 26. And that will do it. Big job at 26. Like I said, neat little piece. I just don't know much about them, so I'm glad you guys at least kind of liked it, because I'd rather it go to one of you guys for your collection, but somebody that knows something about it. So, all right, I got a piece I'm going to show you guys. I've had this for several months. I've been really torn about what to do with it, and it is a duplicate, so I can sell it. I just don't want to sell it. Big difference. It is tiny. I even mentioned it in the post today. It's small, but I call it mighty because it is small. It's only like an inch big. It's only like an inch. It is an enamel badge from the 30s. And I don't know. We'll see what you guys think of it. Of course, I paid too much money for it. But it's something I actually got at Auburn Cord Duesenberg quite a while back. I bought the only ones that Doug had, and it is an original piece. It does have some chips in it, but it is an original piece. So we'll see if you guys like it, if I decide to sell it or not. What this is an enamel badge for a 1936, 1937 cord that went right on the end of the trunk light. There was a housing right above the tag bracket for the trunk light. This is an original enamel cord badge that mounted on the trunk light housing for a 36, 37 cord 810, 812. So what do you guys think? I've been torn about it. I'm going to watch real close and maybe just like drop it here in a little bit before anybody tries to start bidding on it to see. But I'm going to give you guys a shout out. Like I said, I've had it for several months. It is a duplicate, but I've been I don't want to sell it. It's just that cool. So Mark's at 25 to start us off with. Alec is at 65. So I guess a lot of you guys like it because there was a bunch of bids that popped up. So I guess we'll go ahead and let her fly. I don't want to. There was just like 5 bids that popped up. I was like, oh, great. Now you guys do like it. Alec at 65. So I guess we'll let it go. Yeah, exactly, Shopcat. I got to quit doing this stuff, but it is a duplicate. I just don't want to get rid of it, even though it's a duplicate. Like I said, Doug had a couple of them. I bought them. I actually had 3. I bought all 3 of them. Ozark Fox drank to that too. It's a badge. He's good to go. We'll go ahead and give you a Hudson to go with it. It is small. It's only an inch tall. So don't think this is a big badge. It is stud mount. It is flat, but it does have some chipping on both sides. But it is an original 36, 37 cord, 810, 812 tag light enamel badge. So Alec at 65. We're gonna go. We are on the time where we are rolling. I guess I got to write it down. How about an Auburn and a cord badge at the same time? Whew. That'd be a little tough on you guys. Alec at 65. New tie clip. That's right. Number 1. Good idea. Alec at 65 is my high bidder. Alec is going in with both barrels blazing right out of the gate. But it is cool. I mean, and it's not something you're going to stumble across every day. One minute has passed. 1 minute left to go. Alec at 65. And 1 minute, 20 seconds has now passed. Alex Kalish at 75. New blood. Minute 30 seconds has passed. 75. $20 seconds left. $75 is the high bid. 15 seconds left to go. 10. 9. And that does it. New player, Alex at 75. And Alec did come back at 76, but we were way too gone. We were way past it at that point. 75. Congratulations, a new player. Yeah, now Alex says just needs the cord now. So, yep, new blood, new player. Congratulations, Alex. If you got any questions about paying, you can always call me later. Pete got 6 DeSoto, got DeSoto 6 headlight bar to box auction emblems. That's cool. So, neat piece. How about a hood ornament? We're giving away some hood ornaments in a little bit. Let's sell the hood ornament. This is another one of those. It's pitted up, but it's not broken. It's got a great shine to it, and it's an original because it came off the car and it tells a story. This is a 55 Ford. Like I said, you can see the pits in it, but it's got a great shine. It's a cool looking piece, kind of a airplane shaped, just similar to the Oldsmobile ones that we've done. Not something that obviously you're going to put on a show car, but for a display piece, it's cool. It's different. It don't balance very well, but it's a neat little deal. It is. Leo, let's see if it can fly. 17 1/4 long. 9 1/2 wide. So it's got a 9 1/2 inch wingspan, and it's a little over 17 long. Like I said, bright, shiny chrome, but pits. It's got almost looks like a jet intake right in the front of it. So, Shopcat turned a 53 Ford hood ornament into a mobile for his top tech. It sure isn't. No, the 53 wasn't this big. So I think this is 55, I think. But like I said, we're giving away all those hood ornaments here in a little bit, so I thought we'd throw one up and see if anybody's interested in buying one. It does have a little bit of weight to it all up here in the front. That's why I couldn't get it to balance very well. But is there any interest in this thing, or does it go back in the box? Like I said, I know sometimes I hold some things up that I think are cool and you guys may not think they're so cool. So it's totally up to you as to whether or not we're going to let this one fly. So big job at 25. So we'll go ahead and roll with it. Pete loves the front. Yeah, like I said, it looks like a jet. It actually almost looks like a Corsair, only the wing doesn't kind of kick up, but it drops down and cuts like that. So that's right, Mario. That's a good point. I got to be careful when I'm showing you guys this. I don't stag my eye out. Bill Disc at 28. And let's get this thing rolling on the timer. And we've still got some super cool stuff yet to go. I got another Auburn piece I want to do. We got some more cans, license plates, toys. Bill Disc at 28. And I'll start looking around at what we want to do next. Yep, Gray Kitty is awake. Yeah, that's right, Shop Cat. Imagine getting hit by one as a pedestrian. What are you doing, Gray Kitty? What are you doing? She's checking out the tube. Oh, no, you're coming up to say hi to everybody. Yes. Yes. You going to check this out? I can't see the timer. 1 minute has now passed as I look around the Gray Kitty. Bill Disc at 28 on the Ford hood ornament. Coming right at you. One minute, 20 seconds has now passed. Bill Disc at 28. Hey, dummy. Minute 30 has passed. We're in the last 30 seconds. If you're going to jump in on this thing, now's the time. Proctologist drove that car, yeah. Ten seconds left to go. Bill Disc at 28. Big job at 35. Down to the last few seconds. And that did it. Got that in at about 156. Big job, and just hit it just about right at 35. Well, we know Big Job likes Fords. We know he likes airplane hood ornaments. So 'Let's do another license plate. This one's kind of different. I've got some of these, but I didn't have any extras, and I came up with a few extras. So I'm going to sell one to you guys. I don't know. I don't know if these were a state deal or not. I don't know much about them. Hudson badge. But this is the 1961. You want to know? You want the Auburn badge too? We'll throw that Auburn badge up. We got another cool Auburn piece coming up. In 1961, it was the Kansas Centennial. Kansas became a state in 1861. In 1961, was their 100th anniversary. I don't know if these were a state issue deal or not, but these are, I want to say, common. They're not extremely common, but they are something you do see. It's not like something like my 1928 Kansas State Fair license plate where there's 6 known to exist. You do see these, but I don't know. They're too common to just be something somebody made, but I don't know if they were a state deal. But they're a neat piece on the Kansas 1961 Centennial plate with the buffalo. This is a standard size plate like the 12x6 we're used to. This is in pretty decent shape. This hole's been elongated a little bit. It is used. It does have some dents in it. We can look at the back. The back's pretty clean. Guy, the car guy from Oklahoma's on with us. Frank's going to kick us off at 30 on this Kansas 1961 Centennial plate. Like I said, I don't know the whole story. I'm going to do a little more research on them. I got a few of these in a box of license plates today. and they're cool. So I thought I'd throw one up for you. Frank's going to kick us off at 30. This is all painted. None of this is embossed. You can see the back is flat. But I need to find out some more on the whole story. But they're a cool looking plate. I've always liked them. The Buffalo's always neat. Frank at 30. Let's go ahead and get this thing on the timer. Shopcat Bison is his spirit animal. Buchanan at 35. All right. Like I said, it's dent. It's got a few dents, but it's not bent up or anything. Like I said, just a neat piece. The Buffalo is just cool. Buffalo, Bison, whatever you want to call them. So I'm just used to calling them Buffalo. I know, and I think you're right, Shopcat. I think they are technically Bison. Addie corrects me all the time on it. I just call it a Buffalo because I've always known it as a Buffalo. Buchanan at 35. As we come up on the 1 minute mark, 1 minute has now passed. Taking along on the 61 Kansas Centennial Plate, Buchanan at 35. One minute, 20 seconds has now passed. Kevin says he's from Oklahoma. They call him Buffalo, so I don't know. Bison, Buffalo, tomato, whatever. Big, huge, furry animal that I wouldn't want to make mad and have chasing me. That's another way to put it. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. We're on the backside of this. If you're going to jump in, now is the time because we are coming down to the wire with 20 seconds left to go. Shopcat says they're also delicious. 15 seconds left. Buchanan at 35. 10. And that does it. Buchanan at 35. Cool piece. All right, who's ready for another uber rare Auburn piece? And we're going to do this one tonight for a reason. If anybody was on, I know some of you guys were on with me on Toy Tuesday. So who remembers what we did on Toy Tuesday a few days back? I know a lot of you guys were on with us. That's why I want to do this piece tonight because it relates to that. So, we checked out obviously some toys, super cool Smith Miller and tow truck and the super cab that I was super geeked about, the Nylint super cab. Pontiac's thirsty. Don't blame you. That was give you both of them. But when we were talking about the Auburn grills on Toy Tuesday, we talked about the obviously 28 to 30, and then we talked about the 31 to 34. And then we talked about the 35 to 36 a little bit, but when we talked about the 35-36, if you remember, that is a whole big nose unit with insert pieces bolted into the big housing to make the grill on the 35-36. However, we did look at the pieces that I do have for the 35-36, which were the grill emblems. I have them new old stock in my collection. There was a used one that I have that is extra. Ozark Fox, my truck has a plastic Kansas can plate, but it's different. So, anybody remember those 35-36 Auburn grill emblems? Yeah, they're cool pieces. So, obviously, we'll see what this is going to do. I've got, obviously, a pretty good amount of money in it. It is an original. It is bent a little bit. It is a used original, so who knows what stories this thing could tell. But we'll see if you guys are interested in your own 851 grill emblem for a 1935-1936 Auburn. This is, I don't know if it's stainless or if they were plated. Maybe it was stainless. It's bent just a little bit right here. The studs are intact. It is flat. Jason's kicking us off at 75. Alex already in at 70. No, that's an old bid. Eric at 80. So I guess, see there again. Now I got to sell it. You guys, just, boom, you start throwing all these bids out. Everybody's excited. I got to quit doing this. But it is cool. I've got Eric at 80. I guess we got to get rolling on it. It does have a pretty good finish to it. Like I said, it's got the little whoop-de-doo right here at the end. You can see on the back, it was on a grill. I know. Well, see, it's a duplicate. And I tell you guys, if I got a duplicate, I'm going to give you a shot at it. But then it just always backfires. But on the other hand, I know this stuff is going into your guys' collections. And that's an important part of it. You know, a lot of this stuff, I could just hoard it and keep it all. But the fact that it's going into collections of guys like you that appreciate it, like it, love it as much as I do, that's the only reason I can do it. So, but yeah, let me give you the dimensions on it, and then we'll get it on the timer. Eric at 80. It is 5 1/8 tall. 5 1/8. Guy says he wish he had something with 851 horse he could put it on, or a good house number. That's true too. About 2 inches wide, just over 5, and about 2 here at the widest point. So, Eric at 80. Let's go ahead and kick this thing off. We are live on the timer. Eric at 80. All right, let me see. Pick my nose with it, then they won't buy it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I don't know. For as cool as this is, somebody would still wash it. So I don't know. It's just, there again, it's stuff you don't see. But we've got Eric at 80. And 1 minute has now passed. Everybody jumped out there right out of the gate, and then everybody just kind of sitting on their thumbs. So we'll see what happens with this one. Jason said burgers don't scare him. He doesn't care. Eric at 80. Still keep an eye on Facebook, too, in case we got anybody there that wants to jump in as we pass the minute 20 mark. And 1 minute, 30 seconds has now passed. If you're going to jump in on this thing, now is the time. I don't know when you'll ever get another chance at something like this. It's super cool. So, 20 seconds left to go. $10. Just about done. Eric may walk out of here with this thing at 80. Jason at 100. And boom, that does it. Woo! That was about at 158, Jason. You couldn't have hit that any more perfect. That was at 158. Jason comes in with a $100 bid. Kenny was back. Alec was still there jumping in. Alec tried to come in at 81, but both those bids were just a hair late, but Jason had it all covered at 100 anyway. Eric was back at 104. But when we hit 200, we had Jason at an even 100, and he got that in at about 158. So that was perfect, basically. You couldn't have had it any closer. Let's do another one of Addie's caps for her. For our Ford fans. This is a 60s era, and this is another one of those caps that they're not rare, or you can buy China ones if you want. What's great about this one is it is original, and it has just enough wear and just enough scuffs to tell the story, but it still presents really cool and really well. So this is a late 60s era. They used them on Mustangs, Torinos, Fairlanes, a lot of different things, but it's a pretty clean cap, few dings and dents. John's here. But like I said, you can see the scuffs and the scratches of this thing going down the road, or maybe it was on the rear of a 428 Super Cobra Jet car. Maybe that was from doing burnouts. Who knows? More than likely, probably a 306, but you never know. But they're cool looking pieces. It is painted. The Ford emblem looks good. It's got the serrations in here. Yep, the good old poverty caps. But it has held up, considering it's over 50 years old. It's held up well and is a great display piece. It is 10 5/8, so a little over 10 across the back on the Ford dog dish cap. Pure Pontiacs keep me on top of this thing. I'm glad you're keeping me on top of the badge thing. So any interest in the Ford cap? Maybe we'll need to bundle it with some other stuff later on, but I don't see anybody ready to go on the Ford cap yet. Mark just got some 70s LTD caps. So Bill Disc at 10, Tweely D at 10, Mark at 10. Everybody was ready. Jason's done after that one. Yeah. I don't blame you, Jason, but that's a good one to get. That was worth throwing a little more money at. So Bill Disc at 10, Alec at 15, Mark at 20. Let's get this thing started. Mark at 20 is my current high bidder. Wow, for no bids at all, now we've got 6 or 7 bids right on the gate. Yeah, they were on trucks too, Mike. That's a good point. So Mark at 20 is my high bidder. Zach at 21. Like I said, it just presents right. You know, it's got a few dings and dents. It's got some scuffs and scratches, but it presents well. That's what's cool, because if you're going to hang it up, it looks cool. Mark at 23. Jason said it looked good with his Auburn knockoff. Yep. Mark at 23 is high. Alec was at 22, but I've already got Mark at 23. 1 minute has now passed. Just past the minute mark on this one. Mark at 23. Alec at 25. 120 left. Alec at 25. One minute, 30 seconds has passed. I need to be thinking about what we're going to do next. 20 seconds left to go. Alec at 25. 10. Zach at 26. And that does it. Zach at 26. That came in at 156. So you guys are getting pretty good at this. The only thing I've got in full-size 67 is one Caprice two-door hardtop. That's the only full-size 67 Chevy I've got in stock right now. All right, what else we got laying around here to do? Cans, toys. I got, let's see. Let's do one more cap. We'll do one more of Addie's caps, and then we'll do a tag, maybe another badge. I got a big toy. I don't know if you guys want to do a big toy or not. If you're interested in a bigger toy, it'd be $20 to ship it. We can do that, or some cans. So we'll do another cap, and you guys tell me what you want: cans, plates, toys, emblems. Have a smorgasbord auction, a little bit of everything. We'll do one more of Addy's caps, and then we'll call the caps for the night. This is a Chevrolet. It's a little bit bigger. I think it's a 3/4 ton truck from the late 40s, early 50s. Now, typical dings and dents. This was a painted cap. You can see the Chevrolet across there. This would be a good one to leave the way it is and then repaint the lettering. So you've got the old patina look, and and still have the lettering. I don't have any idea what the firewall's like, but it's a Tudor hardtop, so I probably wouldn't cut sections out of the firewall, depending on what you needed. But I probably wouldn't hack that body just for a couple of patches. But that's the only 67 I've got. It does actually, that's true, John. It does look like the moon. About the right coloring and everything. Dings, dents, things like that. Giles says he sees a treasure map in it. Now, one thing that's cool about this cap, and you can barely make it out, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. How big is a 79 Corvette to collector right now? May go look at one this week. They're starting to come up, Alec. The late 70s Corvettes are starting to get a little more popular. They're not crazy yet, but they are definitely going up in value. We always talk about the story in these pieces. And on the back side of this one, I hope you guys can make it out. Can you see this right here? It says 8/27 of 56. And it says, I think 27312. I'm not sure. 8/27/56 was the date, though. A lot of times back in the day, you'd have to pack wheel bearings regularly, or maybe it was brakes. Guys would make notes inside the hubcap. I've seen it a lot. But that's what it's not super common, but I have seen a lot of different caps where guys would put notes inside their hubcap. That's right, Mark. This one doesn't say made in China. This is an old original because it literally has a date from when somebody worked on it on the truck this came off of in August of 1956. So, yep, this is definitely not a China one. But Mark's going to start us off at 20. And like I said, it's got dings, it's got dents. I would repaint the Chevrolet and hang this thing. So, Alex says he can't see it. So let me see if I can get it. I don't know if you can see it a little bit better there, Alec. I try to get these things at the right light, so maybe you can see it there. So, but there again, that's what everything we look at, everything we talk about on here. Auburn badge. Yeah, good change holder. Jeff's on. The promo tonight was a 75 Eldorado, Jeff. But there again, kind of cool piece. So hopefully you can see it there, Alec. We've got Mark at 20 on the Chevrolet cap. I think this is 3/4 ton truck. It's a little bit bigger than the other ones. It is 11 inches in diameter. Yeah, Scandia, I probably wouldn't want to cut this. I mean, I would probably sell this whole shell to do something like that. So, Shopcat, that's something his grandpa would do. And like I said, that's what guys did back in the day. Okay, good. Alec, you can see it perfect. Alex is ready for some more Auburn badge action. So, anyway, let's get this on the timer. I've got Mark at 20, so we can keep moving here. But it is a neat piece. Like I said, that's the stories, that's the history that goes along with these things. Mark wants the Hudson too. All right, let's keep her going, guys. We're on the timer on the Chevy cap. Okay. Mark at 20. These are all Addie's caps. She got them ready to sell, so I'm selling them for her. This will be the last regular cap for tonight. And then, like I said, toys, plates, cans, badges, whatever you guys think. So that's right, Mark. It's a sunglass free zone because it was a painted cap. It's a good point. So it was almost painted silver. It's been painted a couple of times. So that's right, Lou. You can put a little light oil on it. Might bring some color back. So 1 minute has now passed. We're just past the 1 minute mark. That's right. Some of the history and stories they could tell, that's for sure. Or it also, doubles as a hat, 1 minute, 20 seconds has passed. Market 20, the only bid on this thing. This thing's super cool for that. That's right, a hail hat. That's true. Minute 30 has passed. Mark going to walk out of here with one bid on this thing. 20 seconds left to go. Zach at 26, 15 seconds. 10. Johnny Z at 30. Kenny at 35. And that does it. Kenny at 35. Kenny at 35 was what I had at the 2-minute mark. There was some other stuff popping in, so. That's right, Shopcat. Think about it. Even the most mundane equipment, once upon a time, it was new and somebody was proud to own it. That's for sure. And that's why they put notes inside the cap, because it was a big deal, I got a big toy. I want to let you guys look at this big toy and see if you guys are interested in it. It's pretty cool. If you're not, that's fine. It'll be $20 to ship it because it is bigger. I've got one like it. We looked at it several months ago on Toy Tuesday. And that's right, Alec. No one's walking out with one bid. That's true. That's a good point. So let's check this thing out. And you tell me if you guys dig it or not. I've got one similar to it. We looked at it several months ago on Toy Tuesday. But this is the Structo hydraulic dump truck. This actually does, this does have a hydraulic cylinder, but it's stuck. So it does tilt there. Has a release lever here. This opens up back here. And I think, is this supposed to open here too? Yeah. Opens in two places. So yeah, it is pretty good size. That's why it's going to be $20 in shipping if anybody's interested in it. Build this, start us off at 25. This is, actually, I think it's a 57 Ford. It is all metal except the grill and the tires. The plastic tires and grill. It does still have the Structo decals on both sides. It does have chips, scratches, a little surface rust. It was played with. It was loved. It does have all 4 original tires and wheels on it. And like I said, I think I don't think mine was blue, but the build this is going to start us off at 25. We'll have $20 shipping on this. So let's, I guess we can go ahead and sell it. Huh? Everybody want to sell it? It's got to be worth more than $25, but Bill's going to start us off at 25, $20 shipping. La garbage truck. That's right. And that's right. That's another point. The cab is not really beat up. It just got some scratches and chips because these were toys. They were played with. No interior in it. But I think it's a 57 Ford is what the truck grill looks like. That's right, Shopcat. Just about thinking about, imagine the little fella's face seeing that on Christmas Day back then. Because this thing is 18 inches long. Jason is trying to convince his wife that she wants it for Christmas. I'm sure she probably does. So right at 18 inches. Yeah, that's right. The hood is not quite right. It kind of looks like it, except it does kind of dip down. But the grill sure looks like 57 Ford. So Alec at 30. So 18 inches long. And sitting on the desk to the top of the box is about 8. So sitting flat, it's about 8 inches tall, 18 long. Alec at 30 is my high bidder. Is there anything else that we need to look at on this thing? Like I said, something's wrong with the cylinder. This does actually have a hydraulic cylinder in it for the hydraulic dump, but it is stuck. So it will need some attention there. Oh, this actually, I just noticed that. This unlicensed, so it's close to a few models. That's another good way to put it. That's true. Jennifer's considering it for Christmas. But this actually, I didn't realize this. Where this clips in here, it actually clips in the back window. That's where it catches. It's designed to catch on the lip of the back window, and then it pops up from there. So that's it. It's got the Structo graphics on both sides still. Zach says his drive-in speaker he got last week still works. He's going to make set up for Bluetooth. Sweet. That sounds cool. All right, let's get this thing on the timer. Alec at 30 and $20 shipping. On the Structo sanitation truck. Alec at 30. We are live on the timer on this one. We'll see what happens. It's a cool piece. Like I said, I've got one. We checked it out a while back. I come across another one, and that means I can share it with you guys. Hide something in the back of that even. Grill's not busted up. The bumper is actually metal. I did have to glue the grill back in. The grill was loose, so I did have to glue it back in. So John says the snipers are ready. Yep, I think you're right. Alec at 30, 18 inches long, Structo hydraulic sanitation truck. 1 minute has now passed. Hide behind it. Gonna kind of prop it up on my shoulder here like a bird. 1 minute, 20 seconds has now passed. We're coming down to the wire on this one. Alec at 30. Everybody just kind of sitting there. Not sure what's going to happen. $20 shipping. I would think it's worth more than $30 because this thing is all metal except the grill and the tires. Old school steel toy. 20 seconds left. Alec at 30. 20 seconds left. Jennifer at 75, 10 seconds left. And that did it. Jennifer snuck in there at 75. Scania came in the 31, but Jennifer at 75 covered everybody up. And it is a cool piece. Old school, all deal. Great. Well, like I said, I've got one. That's why I dig them. So congratulations to Jennifer on that one. All right. I'll put this thing back. We'll knock out a couple more small things, and we'll get into the magazine. My knocking made the dog bark at Ozark's place. Auburn badge. All right, we'll do a couple more emblems. We'll do one more batch of emblems, and then we'll do one more license plate. Then we're going to get into the magazine. So this emblem bundle, speaking of AMC, is going to be an AMC bundle. We talked about it a little bit later. All right. Any AMC fans out there? Yeah, it's got to be well worth that, Shop Guy. There's no doubt about it. I mean, there again, it's an intact metal toy from the 50s. You know, I mean, they're just finding something intact not missing one of the doors, not missing two wheels, not having the grill busted out and have half the grill hanging there, things like that. So, but our AMC badge bundle, starting off with an Ambassador, 60s era Ambassador. This is an all metal emblem, chrome plated. It is 7 1/8 long. It is an inch and a half, about an inch and a half high, and it is a classy script. 7 1/8 long on the Ambassador. It is flat. It is stud mount, chrome plated pop metal. The next one, the AMC Matador, early 70s era. 4 1/8 by about 3/4. 4 1/8 by about 3/4. This is a pop metal emblem as well. It is flat. It was a stud mount, but one stud's broken. Part of the other stud's broke. So we've got the Ambassador. We've got the Matador. And we've also got a custom emblem off of a mid-50s era. Probably a Nash from the mid-50s era. This is also a pop metal emblem. It is flat mount. It was stud mount, but once again, there's only a part of one of the studs left. It is 5 1/2. Cool custom script in the AMC font. Flat mount, custom metal, chrome plated. So, all three, one money, Ambassador, Matador, and custom on the AMC badge bundle. All right. Anybody in on these? Lots of comments popping up, but I don't have any bids on either format on the AMC badges. So, anybody like AMC tonight, or are we just hanging around waiting for the Auburn badge to pop up? Zach's going to throw 10 out there and get us rolling, so that'll work. Let's go ahead and get him started. Actually, everybody's coming in at 10. Mark at 25, so Johnny Z at 25. I had Mark at 25 first, so. Johnny Z at 30. Jason, I have all those and no money. Yeah. Yeah, but you got some epic stuff tonight, Jason. You got to admit, you got some pretty good stuff. My fingers are cramping up trying to hold all three of these up where you can see them. Let me reposition my fingers here. Johnny Z at 30 on the AMC badge bundle. All three pieces, one bid. As we come up on the 1 minute mark on the AMC badge bundles, we'll do this. We'll do one more license plate, and then we're going to get into the magazine. Johnny Z at 30. As we come up on the 1 minute 20-second mark on the AMC badge bundle. Alec at 32. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. Alec at 32. Coming down to the wire on this one. 20 seconds left to go. Jason's ready to win the hood ornaments. Jason loaded up the raffle can tonight, too, so I don't know. His name's in there a lot. 15 seconds left to go. Alec at 32. 10 seconds. Johnny Z at 38, and that does it. Whew. That was like 159. Johnny Z at 38. That was tight. That was, you didn't have 2 seconds on that one, Johnny Z, but you got her in. So just barely edged out Alec right there at the last second. Tape these back together so I keep the bundle together. That's right, Alec. It's been a rough night for you. That's these guys are sniping you at the last second. We got one more piece, and it's kind of cool. It's a little bit rougher, so it's not as high a dollar piece, but it's early. So we'll do this one. We'll see if we can get it to you, maybe, Alec. Maybe you'll dig this. It's a license plate. It is a rougher license plate, but it is an early license plate. So some of these early plates get pretty expensive. This one's a little bit rougher, so maybe it will help out some of the other collectors. On this 1929 Kansas plate, like I said, this one's been up. It's rough, but it's not rusted out, and it's still legible, and it's actually got kind of a cool look to it, even though it's a little bit rougher. On this 1929 Kansas plate, like I said, you can see this one is definitely kind of bent up. It's been through the ringer a little bit. It is still legible. It is embossed steel. We look at the back, you can see it is all embossed. It looks like it had black lettering. We can still see some of the black on the Kansas. 2 digits for the county, 3 digits on the plate. On the 1929 Kansas plate, it is basically a standard size plate. Shopcat hit 700 subs. Nice. Or almost 700. Good job. It is 12 by 5.5. It's a little bit narrower, but it is about 12 by 5.5. It is, like I said, it is a little rougher, but these early plates usually are breaking the bank. Maybe this will help somebody get, kind of a more of an entry-level plate worked in here, but it is a cool piece. So let's go ahead and get rolling on this one, and then we'll get into the magazine. And let's go ahead and throw this one on the timer. I think somebody's going to start us off at something on this, I would hope. Or maybe not. Still don't have any bids. I already started the timer on it. Buchanan at 20, I knew somebody would jump in on it. It's too cool to not. As we're ticking along, I don't know if you like this one or not, Alec, but you've had a rough night. I will definitely admit that. Buchanan's going to cover themselves. They went to 25 just to make sure they cover themselves. So, as we hit the 1 minute mark on this plate, and we're coming up on the minute 20 mark. I've got Buchanan's the only bidder I've got right now. Coming up on the minute 30 mark. 1 minute, 30 seconds has passed. If you're going to jump in, now is the time. $20 seconds left to go. Kenny at 26. 15 seconds. 10. Jason at 27. And that does it. And Buchanan back at 30, but it was just a hair too late. Jason at 27. There again, he come in with at about 158 with that one. So, Outcast Project is on with us. Glad you made it tonight. So, man, Alec, that sucks. I'm sorry about that. Everybody smoked you on those deal. I'm not sure how that worked, but Jason was on fire tonight because I know there was 2. That was the second one he got at 158. It was literally that tight. All right. Unless you guys want to keep going, I still got piles here, but we probably better get to the magazine. That's up to you guys. If you want more, we'll slide 1 or 2 more in, but we probably need to get moving to the magazine. Auburn badge. I know, Alec, you're a great sport. That's one thing and that's one thing I really appreciate. Everybody on here, you guys are all great sports. We do this in fun, and it sells off some of my duplicates to help support what I do for this financially, and it adds to your collection. But everybody's a great sport about it, and you have no idea how much I appreciate that. We all get along, we all have fun, and that's what's the point. So perfect, Alec. I mean, and that's what's awesome. I'm glad that I know you're okay with everything, and it's all good because we're all having fun. So, all right, let's get into the magazine. Mark says Alec needs a buy. Yeah. Tonight's magazine is one from the viewer box. A few weeks back, we've been working through the magazine. There were 4 really cool magazines in the last viewer box. And that's right. Congrats to all the winners. And I know a lot of you guys are going to get some more stuff next time. So, yeah. I think Alec just kind of shot off a warning to everybody. Like I said, I've got piles here. I stocked up big time since I'm going to be at Meekum this week. Alec just said, I've got extra for next week. So I think y'all better be watching out next week. Mike's got to jump off. Glad you made it. But let's get into tonight's magazine. Like I said, this is one from the viewer box. And we're working through them. We've got one more left in there. We'll do half of it tonight. We'll do the next half next week. And after we do the magazine, we're going to play some trivia, and we're going to give away a whole pile of hood ornaments to somebody. But tonight's magazine, Hot Rod. If anybody subscribes to Hot Rod, this month, the current one, the 75th anniversary issue, January of 2023, 75th anniversary issue of Hot Rod magazine. Big, thick, huge issue. Tons of stuff in it. I'm just getting started looking through it. But we're going to look at the issue from February of 1961. Super cool twin engine digger on the front of this thing. This one's a little bit rough. The cover is loose on it. It's already fallen off. So just so you guys know that it was that way when it came in. It was loose and falling off. So it's nothing that we did. But we're going to check it out anyway because there's a lot of cool stuff in it. All right. Let's dig into this thing with the what's new section. The guy at the card buy wants to buy the magazine. We can do that afterwards. What's new? What's new products coming out in 1961? So there's several pages of these little blurbs. There's a few things I wanted to check out in the what's new section. I thought these were kind of cool. The custom taillight lenses for 57 Fords. You could get them with hearts, diamonds, spades, or clubs. You could get playing card taillight inserts for your 57 Ford. Yep, Guy the Car Guy, we do this every week. We dig into an old magazine. We look at what's going on in that time period. We see if some of it did come true, didn't come true. Hey, I just got some of those cans. I just realized that. I got a couple of those cans at the auction a couple weeks ago. So, that's interesting. Just noticed that. Or you could order the playing card edition of your 57 Ford taillight lenses. And as always, there's no way we can look at every single thing in these. We pick out some high points and check them out. But as we're moving through it, but there's a lot of cool stuff we can always check out. A universal flap. People who own station wagons know the difficulty of keeping the rear of the car reasonably clean. This new universal flap fits all station wagons and convertibles, and when installed is said to prevent dirty back windows, help prevent exhaust fumes from entering the car, protect rear area chrome, easily mounted, made of rubber, and available in most colors, $9.95. Looks like something that we see on RVs today. Just literally a big, heavy rubber flap to keep stuff from kicking up on the back of the car. Big job. Remember flat plexiglass red lenses guys just put the 57s, the 55s, and 6s. Yep. These just had a shape on them of a playing card. So the big rubber flap for the back of your station wagon. New product for 1961. Don't think they took off very well. So this next article was really cool. Yeah, promoted by Ralph Nader. That's true. Randy remembers them. The first article we're going to check out, the Dodge Dart Road Test. Now, the 61 Dodge Dart was not the most attractive thing Chrysler ever came up with, especially this car, because it is a basic, plain Jane, two-door sedan Dodge Dart. There's kind of a good profile picture of it here, if you guys can see what we're talking about here. This is about as basic as it got. Plain Jane, two-door sedan, light color, dog dish cap, 61 Dodge Dart. Normal, basic, plain car, and that's what they were doing their road test on. Not the most exciting thing, and definitely not the most attractive thing they ever came up with. However, this car was a factory cross ram, two-door post, dog dish cap, Dodge Dart. Check that out. Wouldn't that be cool to find today? Basic plain Jane, plain white wrapper, dog dish caps, two-door post, 61 Dodge Dart with a factory cross ram in it. That's right, Bill. That was a heck of a sleeper. That was, I was like, wow, that's pretty amazing. Ozark Fox first car was 61 Lancer, so you're familiar with the Mopars of this era. All right, you keep on me. That's perfect, Pontiac Garage. Just stay on top of me, because I get into these articles and then I keep forgetting about it. So I bet Ward Cleavers didn't have a cross ram in it though. But thought it was pretty cool that this was a factory cross ram basic car. Shopcat had a buddy that had one, just a 62 just like it. But that's what's cool about looking at these old articles. The next one, the drags. The next article, the drag races at Colton, California. Airfield Drag Strip has been host to some famous NHRA events. And this is cool. There's just so much cool in these pictures. It's just going to take a minute to take it all in. So I'll just hold it up here and let you guys examine. I'll point out a few things. Obviously, in today's world, we are used to big, huge, massive glass-fronted towers with suites in them that are several million-dollar buildings at these big drag strips. Here you got some pipe and a couple pieces of tin. That's your tower. Today, we have Pro-Jacks. You slide them under. You got little pins in the Pro-Jacks. You pin them to the bottom of the chassis. You plug your air hose in. You've got air over hydraulic Pro-Jacks. Lifts up one end of the dragster, lifts up the other end. You can work around it. You get done, you release the pressure, your Pro-Jacks drop down. Simple, convenient, handy. 1961, you sat them on the other tires and wheels. So like I said, a whole lot of coolness in these pictures. That's why I'm just holding them up here, letting you guys take it in, because there's just a lot of neat stuff in here, and definitely different than today's world by a million miles. This next car, I've seen pictures of this, but I don't know a lot about it, so I was going to learn a little bit about it right now. The Serve, the Chevy Research Roadster. Designed to test new engineering ideas, Duntov's latest creation features fully independent suspension, transaxle, tube frame, and a 350-pound aluminum V8 with 1 horsepower per pound. Now, there again, so much information in this. I'm sure a lot of you guys have remembered seeing pictures of this thing. That's right, Big Job. It's cool to look at that stuff back then. Bare Bones Racing, that is exactly what it was. That's as honest and as true as it got. But this little car here is pretty cool. A lot of neat stuff in it. So much technical stuff that we'd be here the rest of the night trying to get in it. But there is some more cool pictures of this that is going to help further explain it, that we will get into and share with you. I'm sure there's a lot more work to be a drag racer. And that's right, Zach. Safety third. That's exactly what it amounts to. Men racing back then, that's for sure. Southeast Gassers is an awesome channel. That's right. Some of those old Gassers groups have some super cool stuff. That's right, Guy the Car Guy. Some folks didn't come through. And we're actually going to talk about some of that safety stuff next week when we get into it. But this Chevrolet Research Roadster, some of the cool stuff that they were doing with this car is shown here. Now, this was a pretty exotic deal. This was a test bed. And look at the engine with this tunnel ram type manifold set that Chevy was working with. That obviously never made production. Look at the picture of this transaxle. And I'm sure these are inboard brakes right off the transaxle. It also shows, that also gives you a shot of the independent rear suspension. There again, just so much cool stuff in these pictures. Just taking a few seconds to study them and kind of see. But there again, this was strictly what this car was designed for: testing and research. Yeah, it is pretty wild, that's for sure. That's right, Randy. Real race cars had 3 pedals. I think that it's some sort of a throttle body. But like I said, without actually seeing a full breakdown on it, it's hard to say exactly how this was set up because obviously it never made it into production in anything. But speaking of the car guy's last comment, some folks died though. That's true, and that's what we're going to get into next, actually. The 1961 drag rules. New rules from the NHRA for 1961, some of which did feature safety, and there are so many cool points in this, we could get into it forever, but we look at a lot of these pictures of old drag cars, and we see the driver's head literally sticking above the roll bar. Well, one thing for 61, and it even has a picture of it, Daryl Zimmerman, NHRA tech inspector, receives help while measuring to see if this dragster's roll bar extends at least 3 inches over the driver's helmet. So they were starting to check that stuff by 1961. Novel concept. Let's see if the guy's head is actually lower than the roll bar or sticking above the roll bar before they go blasting down the track. So by 1961, they were starting to pay attention to that. So you don't get a name like Fireball Roberts because you weren't loaded with explosives. Yeah. There's pages of cool rules, but a few things that we wanted to look at. Let me see here. There was tons of cool stuff in here, and just trying to catch a few interesting points, like dragsters, for instance. The A-class dragsters are separated from the AA class. A dragsters, 3 pounds per cubic inch for unblown cars, 4 pounds per cubic inch for supercharged cars. So that's the kind of stuff they were starting to look at. A lot of the rules we see today, some safety, that stuff was starting to come into play in 61. Obviously, drag racing was in its infancy. The NHRA was founded in 1951. And that's right, one of the big reasons for NHRA is safety. But that's what they were really starting to look at. But another cool thing about this article, obviously, and like I said, we can go through all these and come up with really cool things that we're starting to look at. But once again, the pictures. Here are some typical examples of drag cars and their classes. Competition coupe, twin engines, D-dragster, sports cars, gassers. There was something about twin engine cars as well, though. Where was that at? If I can find that real quick, I did want to talk about that. Oh, here's another interesting point. Leaning on the experience of International Road Racing Authorities and the Indy 500 organizers, the Rules Committee states that in 1961, only automobile engines may be used in dragsters. A maximum of 2 engines may be used per vehicle, and the combined total cubic inch of the engines may not exceed 850 inches. Dual engines are allowed in the dragster division only. Dragsters having dual engines must maintain at least 2.5 pounds per cubic inch factor. So obviously that takes the Allisons out after 1961. Some guys were running Allison aircraft engines. Obviously those were out for NHRA in 1961. So Randy is building an H-gas car to run with him. Well, here's some of those pictures. Yeah, Randy, what kind of H-gas car are you building? That sounds cool. But here's some of the pictures. They're, again, great pictures. Obviously, the iconic Willys gasser, the front engine diggers, all kinds of cool stuff. No, Jungle Pam was a little bit later than this, bud. And the next thing we're going to get to, the cover car. The two thing, the Chevy with a kicker. One of the more fascinating experience in quarter mile engineering by hot rodders Dode Martin and Jim Nelson. Obviously black and white here since the cover fell off. This one we can actually look at all of it at the same time. But this will tell us a lot more when we look at the close-up of the cover shot. Twin small block Chevys, twin supercharged, hanging off the front of the engine, keeping the superchargers low. That's right. It's a good idea, Shopcat. Send me some pictures, Randy, and then we can check it out. Now, what's amazing about this? On this thing, with this amount of engineering, this amount of technology for 1961, the weekend prior to the Nationals, it ran its top speed to date. 180 mile an hour and 180.72 miles an hour. 180 mile an hour, 924s was his lowest ET. So in 1961, front engine digger, twin small blocks, twin superchargers, and it went 924. And the crazy part about it, in today's world, you could buy a Demon off the showroom floor that would run in the nines. So now Randy's building a 65 Beetle with a 2332 cc engine, 1,104 pounds with 200 horse. That ought to be interesting. Now, the car did win Best Engineered at the 1960 National Drags. We've got some more pictures of it. It's some pretty cool pictures, including one where they've got these engines meshed together right here. So obviously we got some more cool pictures. We can study this a little bit more on this twin engine, twin blown small block Chevy dragster from 1961. The next article, we're going to talk about the demonstration dragster. NHRA technical advisor Chuck Blanchard uses his slingshot to show rodders exactly what the rule book means about safety. Just like the comment about NHRA was there to help promote safety, that's what they did. This was an NHRA tech advisor who put this front engine dragster together directly out of the rule book to prove that it all worked and why they needed to follow the rules, basically. And this is pretty much a basic little car, small block Chevy, 6 carburetors. That is pretty cool. Nothing really exotic about this for the time, but check out this intake system. 6 carbs on the small block. Look at all those fuel lines. In today's world, I think you can have 6 inches total of rubber line per the NHRA rule book, if I'm correct. I can't tell if those are rubber or if they are actually steel braided. I'm guessing they probably about had to be steel braided because there's about 173 feet of fuel line on the front of that engine. So. But another example of the NHRA at that time, putting their money where their mouth was. Actually, one of the tech advisors building this car specifically around the rule book to show it could be done safely and work. Couple more articles we're going to check out. Then we're going to get into the ads, and then we're going to give away some hood ornaments. Some hot rods, the right combination. Charles Walford has owned several rods, but his latest product had to be a multi-purpose car. Super cool little 34 Ford pickup, small block Chevy power. For the day, a very dependable, very usable hot rod with modern Chevrolet power with a super cool look on the old Ford truck. And one more hot rod article to check out before we get to the ads, before we split off for next week on the articles. A 29 Roadster, 32 Ford frame, Z'd 6 inches, Model A body, packing a 51 Chrysler Hemi. Shop Cassie drive that truck all day. Charles from California is on with us. Giles digging the Ford truck too. Straight up zoomy headers, Model A body, deuce frame, Hemi power, ready to rock and roll. In 1960, that was, all this stuff would have been 1960 because this is February of 61. So it would have taken a few months for this to make the magazine. That was about as good as it got. Model A body, deuce frame, Hemi power. You're ready to rock and roll. Shop Cassie drive that every weekend, so I bet you guys are getting thirsty again. So we'll just give you both of them before we get into the ads. Let's flip back to the front. And who remembers the emblems from tonight? That's right, Randy. That was hot rodding. Guys digging the high boy too. Emblems tonight. Anybody remember the emblems tonight? Or we had too many Auburn badges to remember the emblems for tonight? And Hudson badges. Yep, one of the emblems that we talked about was from 1961, the Pontiac Tempest. Pontiac actually had a 2-page ad. The new Tempest, driven rough by a hard team of teenagers. 6 of the teenagers photographed at a rest stop in Denver, Colorado. The hot topic is the new Tempest by Pontiac. And if we look closely, it actually shows the layout, the engine here, and the transaxle in the back. Hard road test, 100,000 miles on the wagon, 100,000 miles on the sedan. On the 1961 Pontiac Tempest road test. Thanks, Shopcat. Appreciate it. And sometimes we don't clarify that all the time. We get new guys jump on. The Hudson, the Auburn Badger for time to take a drink. So there we go. The 19th, and I did pull the emblem out before I got into the magazine. So I actually had this emblem picked out for tonight and then saw it in the magazine. Like, perfect. What a combination. Transaxle Tempest. That's right. I don't know where you'd find parts or want to fix one, but I've got some Tempests in the yard, but pretty unique. Another cool ad, the 1961 Chevy Impala, the ins and outs of functional styling, talking about the use of the 1961 Chevy. Trunk space, interior space, parking, ease of parallel parking. Yeah, those are good looking little station wagons, Shopcat. I've got 2 62s in the yard. Bill just got to hop off. Glad you made it, Bill. Alex digging it too. Alex giving us some thumbs up on Facebook. But a good Chevy ad. Put the temps on an Audi chassis. Champion Plugs, big 2-page ad. Here's the story of another engine expert who uses Champion Plugs. Carroll Miller and his Flying Fords. Show some cool action shots of Fords at Bonneville, as well as running Top Eliminator at the 59 National Drag. Some cool action shots with the Champion Spark Plug ad. Top of the page. Nobody knows. I missed that. I got to go back and look real quick. That's right. That's true. Nobody knows. I hadn't caught that. Good catch, Gal, the car guy. But the Champion Spark Plugs ad with the action shots of the Fords at Bonneville. That is a good looking Galaxy Shop Cat. That is true. That 60 Ford two-door hardtop, 1 year only body, not something you see very often. Another great action shot. Once again, Pontiac. Made lighter, mounted lower, new free-breathing fuel induction system. 11 power teams to choose from, new gearboxes. Include 3-speed Hydra-Matic and a beefy 4-speed stick on a cool action shot of the 1961 Bonneville convertible. Scott had a 61 Nomad wagon with a Slug 6. 61 Nomad's a pretty good looking car, except there was a 6-cylinder. But yeah, that 61 Nomad's a good looking wagon, especially. But too bad you didn't have a 348. But that'd be a cool car. 61 Bonneville convertible, cool action shot. Dad actually has a 61 Bonneville convertible as well. He had one in high school, so he bought another one. This car does appear to have 8 lugs. Cool action shot of Pontiac. So Pontiac spent a little money in this magazine on ads and did them right. They had some good shots in them. Eye-catching. One more spark plug ad. Why isn't this spark plug chrome plated? Almost everyone agrees Autolite doesn't make the prettiest plugs in town. The new shiny kind are much more attractive. Obviously, there's a reason why these plugs are blue. The color itself doesn't make any difference, but it does tell you a lot about the way the spark plug is made. So, Autolite advertising the fact that it is the basic plug, but it does the job and does the job probably better than anybody else in their own opinion. A Shop Cat, a fan of the early 60s Pontiacs. I am too, always have been. I kind of grew up on some of those. I had a 64 Grand Prix in high school, so have always liked those early 60s Pontiac, good-looking cars. But Autolite trying to make the point that they don't make the prettiest plug, but in their opinion, they make the best plug to get the job done. And we're going to catch one more ad, and then we're going to move on. And this is kind of cool. We've checked out some of these ads similar to this in the past, but this one's a little bit different. Motors manuals. We've talked about them before. We've seen them. I got a whole slug of them right here behind me. Motors auto repair manuals. Most of the ones I've got here are parts and labor manuals of the old Motors books. I'm sure we've all seen them. We're all familiar with them. I keep a few of them around to look up part numbers. But in this ad, here's the straight dope on how to fix any part of the car from the men who build them. And I actually talked about the manufacturers in the ad. Actually, all these cool old logos of all these companies to mark those. Mark wouldn't have had a larger screen. But that's what I thought was cool. It listed, it had all these cool little logos as it talked about in Motors manuals. Oh, God, the car I'm watching was 55-inch in the living room. I can stand up and look at the screen mounted on the wall. That's right, Pure Pontiac. We're ready to go again. He's straight dope. That's right. Get the straight dope on how to do it. And what the heck? Let's give you the Hudson badge, too. We're all in a good mood tonight. Yes, Scott. Actually, there are classifieds in this magazine. But I tell you what, classifieds we typically do in the second half. But I think there's a couple of pages, so we'll just do a page. We'll do a couple of them tonight. We'll do a few classifieds tonight, and then we'll do the rest of them next week. So yes, there are classifieds in here. Let's see. Sell 29 Ford Roadster on 32 rails, quick change, 331 Chrysler, Howard cam, log manifold, much chrome, needs upholstery, never raced. So 29 Model A body, 32 frame, 331 Hemi, needs interior finished, $1,800. Yeah, I picked that up, Mark. I apologize. I didn't see his comment right before yours, so. Yep, 18, that'd be pretty much a smoking deal on that. Let's see, what else is here? Sell National Champion B Competition Coupe, Featured in August 6, 1960 Hot Rod magazine. Runs as extra legal altered with all-weather transport tarp, trailer, plexiglass windows, firewall, quick change, immaculate and ready to race. A tremendously well-handling car that wins its share of best constructed and safety awards. Now, it doesn't say what motor it's got in it, but it, actually, these are all addresses you had to write to them. Yep, you had to write to them to get information. But this B competition coupe that was featured in Hot Rod magazine, they're firm on the price at $850. So kind of crazy to think about. And that's really about it on the first page here. There's more of them. We'll get to more of them next week. But Scott brought it up. Thought we'd throw a few of them in. Yep, that's right, Guy the Car Guy. You had to write to them to buy a car. These all have mailing addresses on them. Actually, hey, wait. Let's check it. We'll do one more. There's a boat. World record holder, unblown gas drag boat. 93.85 mile an hour. Miller 18-foot all wood with birch deck. Full Chrysler V8, featured in July 59 Hot Rod magazine. Sharp as new, runs consistently over 90 miles an hour. Price complete with trailer, $5,800. That's a fortune in 1961, but it is a fast boat. Of course, 98 miles an hour, world's fastest unblown boat. I think Palmer's boat went like 172 or something last week. So, because Palmer's got some top fuel hydros as well. And I think they did like 172, and his top fuel hydro did like 172. So be wild to see how many relatives still lived on the property. That's true. Yeah. Guy on the Car Guy thought the phone was old school. Yep. No phone numbers. You had to write to them. That's right, Randy. That was a house in 61. That's a good point. So that'll wrap it up for the first half of the February 61 Hot Rod magazine. Burn off another 1,000. I've heard bust out another 1,000. Never heard burn off another 1,000, but that's about right. So, when will they hit 90? Not in Kansas. Yeah, probably not. I'll see what the address says, since I should have an address. California, Manhattan Beach, California. Zach's digging the magazine. Like I said, we'll get to the back half of it next week of the February 61 Hot Rod out of the viewer box from a few weeks back. We've got one more magazine from the viewer box to get to as well. So, pretty excited about that. But did you get everything hauled home from the auction, Outcast? You bought a few things, I think. Because Outcast was at the auction with me when we did that video a couple weeks ago. Guy on the Car Guy dug it. How about some Auburn and some Hudson Badge? All right, good magazine. Great. When you guys throw that up there that you're digging the magazine, that means I'm staying on the right track with what we're looking at, the things I'm picking out to check out. That tells me we're on the right track with it. Let's play a little bit of trivia, and then we're going to give away a pile of hood ornaments and announce the next raffle. Tonight's trivia winner is going to get actually last week's project because Big Job won last week. So I have to send him a Ford badge. So I'm going to give away the same Chevy badge as last week. And send Big Job a Ford badge. Since he won, Big Job got to have a Ford badge. I don't think we can do anything with a Chevy badge. So, Outcast, he got the rollback and the 2 bottom. So, he got his stuff picked up. That's good. So, we'll give away the Chevy badge tonight. And tonight's question, as always, we'll put this on a 90-second timer. Just for the simple fact so that we're not sitting there waiting for people to dig through videos. I don't know if it's Lumina or Cavalier. It's plastic, flat mount, tape mount. So unless you want this one, Big Job, but I figured I better send you a Ford badge. But we did a video the other day on a whole bunch of junk I've been dragging in. Auburn Court Duesenberg, Salvage Yard, 2 auctions. I had stuff piled up everywhere. There was a set of really unique taillights that we looked at. What were they off of? If anybody was paying attention, there's a really weird set of station wagon taillights. That's the heart, right out of the Heartbeat of America campaign. That's a good point, guy, the car guy. Big Job's good with a Ford badge. I figured you probably would be. So, what were those weird wagon taillights out of? If anybody was paying attention to the parts video where I had everything scattered out, some of the truck was a mess. We're getting closer. I want the actual model of the car, not the maker. I want the model of the car. Because that's what was weird about it. Boom. We'll just double fist them. We've got some stuff that's close, but I wanted the model because the model is what's really weird about it. Nothing yet. We got all kinds of guesses pouring in, but nothing yet. Big Job remembers watching it. Pete says he can still remembers looking at him, but nothing yet. We've had some close. We've actually had the maker, but we don't have the model. And the model is what's weird about it. Because I actually didn't even know what they were. I screwed up the video. When you guys see the video, I actually screwed up the video. Yeah, they were wagon. Well, nobody got it. We're already past the time. Nobody got it. They were Dart. I thought it was a Rambler. When you guys see the video, I actually botched the video because I thought the car was a Rambler because it was just a really weird station wagon that I'd never seen before. So I actually called it a wagon. I called it a Rambler wagon in the video. So when you guys see me post that video later on, I screwed that up. When I went back later and started looking at parts and pulling some parts off that stuff, I was like, oh, that's a Dart. So 65 or 66 Dart. Weird car. Something you don't hardly ever see. So, yeah, their number one just popped up, but that's true. That's a good point, Gal. Some of those wagons were extra stylish, and it was super unique and actually kind of stylish, but so weird I didn't even know what it was. But anyway, let's give away some hood ornaments. And then we're going to announce the next raffle. And then we're going to talk about next week's videos. And we're going to wrap this thing up. Time for the big Buick oil can to come out. Who is in here? I know Jason's in here. Jason loaded her up heavy today, just so you guys know. But in this week's packet, who got in this week? Mark Falcon, Reno Holland, Big Job, Kenny Peterson, Alec Blanchett, Jason Withrow, Zach Thompson, and Jason Withrow again this morning. So, yeah, you were way behind. If you were on the timer number one, because I mean we were done, over, gone before your comment even popped up. So yeah, I mean if you were probably on time, but I didn't even see it until way past that. So that's who's all in there. Kenny saw a big beautiful can on eBay. That's right, number one. You're the guys always trying to make sure everybody is synced up. Yeah, that was way, way late. 51 Mercury hood ornament. The 4950 Chevy hood ornament, as well as the big Dodge Ram. So let's give them away. Second name gets a mini hood ornament, and third prize the little Tidal can from my good buddy Michael Jones at Gasoline Alley Classics. We're going to be talking a lot about Gasoline Alley Classics. They do a lot of cool stuff there. So, number one, because he feels like he let everybody down. So, lots of names in here. I'm sure a lot of you guys can see your names in there. Stocked up good. Let's give them away. Yep, Growl the Car Guy. Every month, this is the raffle can. The Dodge hood ornament is car 49, 50, 51, something like that, I think. I got you, Pontiac Garage. I got you covered. All right. We're down to one. I'm down to one. I can't see it because it's on the back side. Tweely D. We got Tweely D on the hood ornaments. All right, the little mini hood ornament. Jason says congrats, I guess. Yeah. Tweedly D is out. You can only win one time, so. Zach Thompson on the mini hood ornament. And the little oil can. Tweedly D and Zach are out. As we dig into the big Buick oil can one more time, maybe, unless we pull Tweedly D or Zach out. Highlander on the oil can. All right. That does it for this month's raffle. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate everybody playing and having fun. And time for the next one. So, we'll empty the Buick oil can. So we're ready to go for the next time. Is everybody ready? Drum roll as we get ready for the raffle for December. Zach's already ready for it. What's the new one? What's the new one? What's the new one? How about some badges? That's a good point, Shopcat. I know you're upset, Jason, but you've got the Auburn badge to curl up with. So that's, yeah, not too bad. Number one wants a grill shell. No, we're not going to do a grill shell. Tweedly D wants a sign. Well, that's what we've got. How about an original 1961 Texaco Fire Chief pump plate? This would have been one off the front of the gas pump. This is porcelain. It is dated 1961. It has a few scuffs and scratches in it, but it's 60 years old. The back looks pretty good. This is actually paint that ran down the back, which means they painted the pump while this was on there. The car guy wants to bid on this one. Epic, Zach says. That's a good point. Alec is ready for the new raffle as well. Pure Pontiac Garage is thirsty. I don't blame you, because this is pretty exciting. So that's what we're going to give away. An original porcelain Texaco Fire Chief pump plate. This is the larger one. It is 18 inches tall by 12 inches wide. They make a smaller version of this. This is the larger one. The small one is the one that's extremely rare. I've got both. I've got this one, and then I've got the smaller one. This is an extra one that I picked up. I did show this one on a Toy Tuesday, I'm sure. But it's a great piece. We'll hang it up here so we can all stare at it over the next several weeks. We will give this thing away. Well, how's this going to shake out? Well, January 1st is Sunday. If we do a New Year's Eve episode, we'll give it away on January 1st. Randy's got the hat. Yep, I've got the hat too. But it's a cool piece. Like I said, it's got some chips and scratches. You know, most all these pump plates, you know, have some chipping around the mounting holes because the screws were over tightened. If we catch the light just right, you can see it's got a little dent and a little chip up here in the gasoline. Pete says he remembers mentioning the paint on the back. Okay. Alec is digging it. It's a beautiful piece. Like I said, I've got it. I've got both versions in our collection. This is an extra, and we're going to send it down the road to somebody else. So there's the new raffle for December. So obviously you guys are digging it. I see a lot of positive comments to that. It's big enough you can see it. It's not so big that it takes up a ton of real estate. So great piece. Original 1961 Texaco Fire Chief gasoline porcelain gas pump plate. Giving it away January 1st to a lucky winner. We'll figure out a few small things to go with it. But along with this, like I said, we're going to be talking about Gasoline Alley Garage. I've got a lot of videos from there that we need to get up that we're going to share with you as well. But Michael Jones, great guy. They do a ton of cool stuff there. He sent along a batch of stickers for the winners for this month. So we'll pick out maybe another one of his little oil cans. Pure Pontiac Garage wants to bid on it. But Gasoline Alley Classics, my buddy Michael Jones, he sent stickers. Everybody is going to get there'll be one sticker for every winner in this month's raffle. Lady Luck is one of his trademark pieces that he makes. They make signs, they make t-shirts. Gasoline Alley Classics, Sapulpa, Oklahoma. Like I said, we've got some videos from there. I sold him a Dodge milk truck 6 or 7 years ago, probably. And we've stayed in touch, become good friends. He makes some super cool stuff. And so he threw in a batch of stickers for this month. We've got some more mini oil cans. We may mark one of those in. Alex says it's his birthday month, so he wants it. So we're going to have a sticker for everybody, and we'll have a couple of backup prizes after we give away the pump plate on January 1. So Big Job says he had a feeling when he saw that sign it was going to be a raffle piece. Yep, that's an extra one that I picked up on a bulk deal with some other signs. And so since I already had it, I mean, I still had to pay for it. They're not cheap. I still had to put decent money in it to get it, but it still works. So Ozark has a full set of 4 new stock accessory bumper guards for a 60 Galaxy. Yeah, those would be some odd pieces that most people probably would know, with 60 being a 1-year only car. So that's what we've got. Yeah, they are great stuff. You can check them out on Facebook, Gasoline Alley Classics. I've got, and in fact, I need to hang it up in here. I've got a tin sign of Lady Luck that he made for me. So pretty neat stuff. So like I said, everybody's going to get a sticker courtesy of Gasoline Alley Classics. Check them out. Check out their merch. And we'll be doing some cool stuff there. Plus, we got a lot of great videos coming up from there. So that'll kick us off. We'll pick out a few more cool things to go along with it. In fact, we'll give away another one of those mini oil cans to go for this month as well. How about this one? We'll give away a Whiz high-speed motor oil can. These are the same size as the little banks they used to make. These are kind of cool. Michael makes them, and they're nice pieces. We'll throw one of those in, and we'll find something else as well to go in for our second and third names out of the hat. But our big prize for December will be the 1961 Porcelain Fire Chief Pump Plate. I do need to get decals made. It's just something I haven't done yet. I do need to check on that again. All right. What else is going on? We're about ready to wrap this thing up. Well, I guess we're 3.5 hours in. We better be about ready to wrap this thing up. Can't believe you guys are still here. But you are, and we're having fun. That's all that matters. T-shirts. Big Job says we need to. You can buy all the T-shirts you want. I've still got T-shirts. So unless you want to give, unless you want me to give away a T-shirt, we might probably do that too. Yeah, we can give away a T-shirt if that's what we want to do, Mark. That's not a bad idea. We haven't done that in a while, so that's a great idea. Number one, actually, Heather Thomas T-shirts to say "Follow me to nobody's." I like the way you think. Except Heather would throw them all off course, so I mean, they would. They'd be too busy paying attention to Heather to be paying attention to cars. So at least I would be. So that's right. Someone's going to get a great Christmas sign right after Christmas. Yeah, we do need to get some decals made. Pure Pontiac Garage is still bidding. And Alec just brought up another point that I was just getting ready to get to. That grab bags. We did grab bags around Halloween, and everybody had a lot of fun with them. So I'm thinking, you guys said you want to do a Christmas episode because it is Christmas Day. Sunday is Christmas Day. So by Sunday evening, most people are kind of wound down anyway. So you guys said, at least when we talked about it in the past, that you want to do Christmas Day and you want to do New Year's Day. So I was thinking we could do some Christmas grab bags like we did at Halloween, auction a few, give a few away. So we will probably, at that point, I'm thinking maybe we'll draw for a few Christmas grab bags at that point. So we'll probably not only do the sign and a T-shirt and a can, I guess. We'll do a few extra giveaways maybe on Christmas Day. So I'm thinking about doing some of that if that's cool with you guys. So there probably will be a few extra chances to win this month as well. So please keep that in mind also. But Kenny's liking the idea. I'm getting some thumbs up popping up. That's good. Multiple trivia for grab bags. We might do some extra trivia. We'll see. Alec likes the idea. Here's Chad on the Nobody Show sticker with your phone number or contact info. There you go. That's a possibility as well. Jason will need extra chances. Guy with the car guy. Well, being as single as I am, I'll probably be around. and that's the thing. And when we talked about it a few weeks ago, that's kind of what everybody said. Shoot, by the end of the day on Christmas Day, number one will never be behind the chat again, I promise. I know you're always on top of things, number one. So Johnny Z likes the idea. So we'll mix it up. And like I said, at the end of the day on Christmas, a lot of people are, everything's over, said and done with. It's time to unwind, and that's what we do on here. So I thought, what the heck? You guys want to do it, we can do it. I was almost thinking today, if it's nice, maybe we want to do a yard walk on Christmas Day too. That afternoon, maybe we can squeeze something in there, depending on what the weather's like. So, but anyway, we'll see how that all works. But there's probably going to be a chance for some extra drawings this month. Every winner's going to get a sticker courtesy of Michael. Be sure to check him out at Gasoline Alley Classics. That's a good point. Number one, you're not alone with us, pal, because everybody's a somebody when you're a nobody. Old school man, you're a little late. We're just about done, but you got in, you snuck in for a little bit. So, good point. Everybody's a somebody when you're a nobody. We got to put that on a shirt. Shopcat says Christmas Day yard tour is down with that. Like I said, if the weather's decent, we might be able to work that in because by the afternoon and by the end of the day, I mean, things are winding down anyway. So, Auburn badge. Anyway, new inventory. I didn't have time to get anything really this week other than my signs. So, Whiskey Business, that's an epic shirt idea. I'll have to write that down so I don't forget. Everybody's a somebody when you're a nobody, right? Is that what we said? Everybody is a somebody when you're a nobody. How about that? Is that what we said? Everybody is a somebody when you're a nobody. I hope I got that right. Yeah, we can sure walk by that tour. Like I said, it won't be right away, but I'm thinking maybe Christmas Day if the weather's decent. If the weather's bad, then maybe New Year's Day. It's been a couple of months since we've done one, so it's about time to squeeze one in. I try to do them every 2 to 2.5 months, and it's been about 2.5 months. Or about 2 months, but I don't want to do one now and then do another one in a couple weeks. So we'll probably roll with that. Everybody's a somebody at nobody's. Okay, I said put when you're a nobody. Everybody's a somebody at nobody's, or everybody's a somebody when you're a nobody. I think everybody's a somebody when you're a nobody. I don't know. We'll see. We'll get it shook out. We just need another Auburn badge, I think. Then it'll all come into focus at some point. But what's coming up in videos actually? Maybe even I'm a nobody with an arrow. Yeah, that's true. Nobody is everybody at somebody's. You should make shirts of famous poster girls, but instead of their heads, the word no. Put that on the back of the shirt with the logo on the front. But videos that are coming up. Believe it or not, guys, between so many U.S. sellers won't ship outside the U.S. Why? Expense and hassle. It's a lot of paperwork and it is super expensive. To ship an oil can to Canada for me has been $20 to $25 to ship a package that costs $5 to ship in the States. So that's what a lot of it is. It's just expense and hassle. So but as of right now, between Auburn Cord Duesenberg, Gasoline Alley Classics, Pioneer Village, plus inventory that I've been buying, as of right now, as far as what's uploaded to YouTube and not published yet, I've got 19 videos that are already uploaded and not published. And I don't have everything done. I've got a little bit more from Auburn Cord Duesenberg that's not done, probably 3 more there that aren't done. I've still got some old Gasoline Alley Classics we shot a while back before it was done that I want to lead up to the finished product with of his building that I haven't got uploaded yet. So I've probably got 6 or 8 videos that aren't uploaded yet, and I've got 19 uploaded that are not published. So we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. Shopcat, I got a guy who wants to buy an Iron Horse engine, but shipping is going to be a pile, probably to Canada. Yeah. I'd like to see the Chevy 2 wagon. Yeah, that one is shot, but it is not published yet. It is shot, it is uploaded, but it is not published. Put your name first and imply that all are included. Nobody's everybody's somebody's, short and sweet. Yeah. So I've got 19 videos that are uploaded with, so there's going to be all, and then we're going to Mecum next week. So we'll have some stuff from Mecum. Friday, we'll probably throw some stuff up from Mecum. Like I said, if you guys are interested, I will sure try to get Jim to do some more videos with us. I know when we've done some videos with Jim in the past, you guys have commented that you liked them. So if you want me to do more Jim Wicks videos, I'll sure see if we can get some more knowledge out of Jim. Dean Martin music in the background. The 64 Chevy 2 wagon, it's rough, Mark. No motor, no tranny, and most of the glasses broke out of it. It's been sitting for years. It is solid. It came out of Colorado. It is a solid car. I think it came out of eastern Colorado, right on the western Kansas border. So the rust is minimal, but the car's rough. But it's got a ton of super hard to find wagon parts on it. The Packers lost, so apparently number one's pretty happy. I guess that's good. Jason's payment's been sent. Awesome. Appreciate that, buddy. So maybe number one will get a new pickup yet. So anyway, what else is going on? I guess that's about it. Like I said, we'll see what we can scare up at Mecum. We've got all these other videos loaded. So we got a lot of great stuff coming up, and a lot of exciting things happening. Hope to see some of you next weekend in Kansas City. We will still do Toy Tuesday normally, so I won't be leaving until later in the week. But if you're going to be at Kansas City Mecum or even thinking about it, let me know. Maybe we can catch up. Like I said, plan on seeing Rico and Jess there and hopefully run into a few more of you. Just let me know. And the World Cup stuff, I don't know nothing about. I know that it's soccer and they kick a ball into a goal. Beyond that, I don't know what's going on with the World Cup. Great, Jason says, awesome show. Appreciate that. Mark says he'd love to be there. Yeah, it's always fun. I ain't gonna buy nothing, but it's always fun. Sometimes some of the guys that are with us do buy some stuff, so you never know. But number one, those cheeseheads cost me over the season that I need it every week. Good place to stay for Mecum. We actually stay a little further away. We stay down in Lenexa, which is about, depending on traffic, if there's no traffic, it's 10 or 12 minutes, maybe 15 up to Bartle Hall. But if you stay down in the Lenexa Overland Park area, it's a lot cheaper than staying downtown typically. You know, downtown, you're usually minimum $140, $150 a night. Well, you're there for 3 or 4 nights. You got 4 or 5 rooms. It gets expensive quick when you've got a group of guys. So that's where we stay, is down in that area. And, and like I said, and it's right up 35. So that's, if you stay somewhere down in that area or, a little ways away, rooms are usually a lot cheaper. And the auction usually doesn't start till 10 or 11. So we head up to the auction, at 8:30, 9 o'clock, right after traffic has died down. Easy shot right up 35 to Bartle Hall. And not that big a deal to when to save, usually $50-$60 a night, for everybody that's there times several nights. So that's what we typically do. Big job. Haven't watched one of the NFL games. Reminds too much of the government. So Zach, payment's been sent. Extra for the sign. All right, perfect. Says it's going to look great on his wall. You're a nobody till somebody loves you. I think that's probably what Big Job's talking about as far as Dean Martin. Not sure, but I bet that's it. Giles Carga, easy for him coming up Oklahoma City. That's true. So Ozark like to have a little Mercury pickup. That's something you just don't see up here. That's for sure. Because with all those being in Canada, just most of them never made it this far south. So hardly ever see Mercury pickups down here. But I have seen a few, but I've never had a chance to buy one. Mark says could be on his wall too. So that's good. I'm glad you guys are excited about it. That means I'm still finding cool stuff that you're digging. So anyway, I guess that just about does it for me. Wow, almost 3 hours and 40 minutes. Wow, I thought we were getting this thing reeled back in and trying to keep it around 3 hours, and here we are at 3 hours and 40 minutes, and you guys are still here. So I can't say thank you enough. I appreciate you guys being on here, making this what it is. How about some badges? If you guys are going to be at Mecum, let me know. It's going to be a great week. We're going to have a lot of fun there. Jason says it's too much fun. Well, I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Still crazy to think that you guys still come back and hang out every week. Yeah, that's right. Everybody's got that coming up. Property tax is coming up next. So I know I'm getting my tax statements here coming up too on property tax, and I hate it. Plus my dealer insurance is due next week. So I got dealer insurance, dealer license, dealer bonds, and property tax all in about a 3-week window. So yeah. So I ain't buying nothing next week. So glad you had a great time, Guy the Car Guy. Glad you came up and hang out with us. Hope you hang out with us some more and stick around. We have a lot of fun on here weekly. Ozark knows got a 66 M100. That'd be kind of cool. Everybody had a great time. Shopcat, his nephew, has his grandpa's old 66 M100. And number one says in Canada, the dealership turned 67, 68 M100 pickups into XRT trucks with Cougar interiors and wheels and 390s. That actually sounds kind of interesting. I've never heard of that. There again, We are all learning something. Perfect example number one. 6768 Mercury M100 XRT. Sounds cool. 390s and Cougar interiors. Great information. So catch up next time. Ready to badge up. Perfect. Alex is maybe someday he'll get to Kansas. So, yep. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Guy the Car Guy. Come back next week. Come by Toy Tuesday. We have a lot of fun. And with that, I guess we better get ready to wrap this thing up. Call it a night. Appreciate everybody coming by. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your support in the auctions. I appreciate everybody being good sports and your support on there. Tell your friends. Leo brought a lot of friends over tonight. And M100, that was the Mercury pickup. It was a Ford pickup badge as a Mercury sold in Canada. They didn't call them Ford F-Series in Canada. They called them the M-Series, badged them as a Mercury. And that's why we don't see him down this far south very often. Guy the Car Guy set his bell to hope catch us on a regular basis. Oh, you decided to make another appearance. All right, tell everybody bye. I might not make it. Alex says awesome. Look forward to many more. Yes. All right. Stay off the keyboard. Why don't you just get down? I can't put her down. Too many auction boxes. She's getting a little weight on her. Yep. Finally getting a little meat on her bone. She's still a little skinny, but yes. Say bye-bye to everybody. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. That's right, number one. Same bat time, same bat channel. Oh, okay. Get down, dummy. You got your claws out now. Oh, get off the keyboard, dumb butt. Yes, get off the keyboard. You got to go down. You got to go down before you wreck the chat. We're trying to get done here. You're going to wreck it. All right. There we go. I put her down under the desk. She scampered off. Probably to jump right back up here. But anyway, that being said, his cat, there's no cat food in the computer room, so his cats don't go in there. That being said, thanks everybody. I appreciate it. We're going to wrap this thing up. That was close. She was headed straight for it. And we'll be bringing some cool stuff from Mecum this week. I've actually got a lot of work to do there. I need to cover it for Old Cars Weekly as well. So I will be making notes to write that article for Old Cars Weekly. So I'll be working on that. We'll be doing some video. I'll be hanging out with my friends. Hope to see some of you guys there. And with that, we're going to call this one a night. Episode number 140 in the books. Appreciate you new guys that are on now and are starting to come back. And just like Leo brought 2 or 3 friends in tonight. Awesome. I super appreciate that. And, invite your buddies. If you guys are having a good time, let your friends know. Let them jump on. And Scott says he enjoyed number 140 as well. We'll give you a couple more badges to wrap this thing up tonight. And with that, I'm going to sign off. Hope to see you Tuesday night. Stay tuned. We're going to have some cool videos coming up this week. I don't know what I'm going to post yet, but there's a ton of cool stuff in the can that I know you're going to enjoy. Hope you guys enjoyed last week's videos. Appreciate y'all being here tonight and making this chat what it is. I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you Tuesday night. Maybe see some of you at Mecum. If not, we definitely hope to see you back here 7 o'clock next Sunday evening. Same bat time, same bat channel, 7 o'clock Central Time on the Nobody Show channel for more Sunday Night Live chat. Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you being here. See you next week.